Turn my headphones down. Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
Yeah. All right. Check 1, 2, 2. All right, all systems go. Live at 85. Time to get up and move your body. All right. Good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio, First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners.
Everybody.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us on this Friday, December 15th, 2023.
Hey.
Last day of season 6.
Man.
Is afoot. And I'm trying to tell you, as soon as I get off this microphone, I'm going to lay down. My vacation begins immediately. Welcome. Thanks for everybody joining us already this morning, giving us some good mornings. Love it. Kimber Snipes is up early. Said good morning, y'all. Some sunshine. Leia Keister's in the chat. Good morning to you. Saying happy Friday, yippee, yay, yo. Missed the last yo's.
Yeah, I think that's the yay at the end. But you did good. A lot better than I would have done.
Okay,
I'll just say that.
Mr. Yo yay at the end. That's what it was. So.
Yeah. Yay, yo, yay.
Yeah, yo, yay.
Fry, yay, yippee, yay, yo, yay.
You missed one of the yays after the yippee.
Oh, it's 2 yays. Yay, yo,
yay.
Yay.
Tamika Johnson gives us some sunshine. Good morning to you. Pop says, wow, the last day of season 6. This is a bittersweet day. Love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops.
Yeah. West side, from the west side with love.
West Side Rider. Wanda Lewis gives us a good morning. Anthony Rogers right in the chat. Good morning to you. Appreciate
Says nothing.
Peace from DC. Okay.
Oh, okay. That first comment was blank though.
I see some very faint looking hearts or something there in
okay. I was gonna say I don't know how you leave a blank comment, but
there was something in there. It's just that the color of our screen is messing with the color.
Yeah.
Marlon Harrison gives us a good morning, family. Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming on in. Brother Kasim in the house. Good morning, fellas. Good morning, brother. Appreciate you getting up.
Hey.
Mayor Sanchez in the house says, I hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave. Well,
all right.
Said that a few times in my life. That's what's happening. Appreciate you.
I'm guilty.
Sue Kessler Hagen gives us a good Friday morning. Thanks for all the good mornings. Yeah.
Everybody, man, coming in bright and early on this here last episode of the season. Welcome. Thank y'all for pulling up with us. Let us know how you doing this morning. Let us know what's going on in your world. For some reason, my son started his Christmas break this morning. So I guess everybody just starting their vacation today. I don't know why they started on a Friday, though. That's weird.
It is weird.
Yeah. You would think, you come in Monday and
Mm.
But hey, we here on a Friday, so welcome. Mama God told me she's back home, back in Omaha, back in the swing of things. So I think she'll be making her way here on the show pretty soon. Looking forward to seeing my Dukes a part of the conversation.
Yeah, yeah, been definitely missing her contributions for sure. So,
Yeah, she been here cooking and things, man. Being with the babies, being with the little. So yeah,
love it,
definitely glad she made it home safely. How you doing, man? What's going on in your world, Paul?
man. Just ended up having a pretty late night, pretty dope show last night over at Reverb. This band that I hadn't heard of before had Roger Lewis on drums, but
Yeah,
the highlight, the reason why we got wind of it is because Marcy Yates and Augie Kidd and those guys were over there opening. So it was
man,
a nice mix, nice crowd of people. One thing led to another, turned into a late night. Now I gotta go lay down after the show.
man, he tired, boss. He
Tired,
tired.
bro. Kimber
Man,
said, Kimber said, tired. I can't wait for a break. I heard that.
yeah. Hey, as we always, we've been saying the last couple episodes, our breaks always seem to come right on time, right on time. So yeah, definitely looking forward to being able to smell the coffee beans, kind of sleep in a couple of days, and um, recalibrate. That's the
Yeah.
word I'm thinking of. Recalibrate.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's. I think everybody needs to take a little bit of time out of the year to not have to depend on an alarm clock to get you up. Wake up naturally a little,
yeah, man,
at least a month out of the year. I'm gonna keep that going for myself for sure.
yeah, man.
Mayor Sanchez in the chat says you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hex out of here. Well,
Hey,
Marlon Harrison says it's raining right now in Omaha. Yeah, it's a rainy day today for sure.
really?
I heard that
Been better than snow.
the dreaded S word is coming tomorrow morning. Is what I
Ah,
heard.
okay. Well, hey, take the rain while you can.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take a nap and let it go. Let it do what it does.
That
How you
part,
doing
that
this
part.
morning, man?
I'm all right, man. I'm all right. Got kind of rested this morning, so feeling good. Again, excited about the break. I sent you some stuff last night, man. Just woke up inspired yesterday and spent the whole day just creating. So yeah, we're definitely looking forward to sharing some things with y'all coming up in season 7. That's kind of the whole point of season 7. Again, we go into every season with the theme in mind, and this next theme, again, we haven't quite hammered down a phrase or a name for it quite yet.
Mhm.
But we're going to do some creating and doing some sharing with y'all, man. Of course, we've been talking about the documentary that we're working on. A shout out to Metro Community College and their reentry program, the 180 reentry program, and Diane Good Collins, good folks over there.
Mhm.
Excited about that. Also had some other meetings about some other video projects and things that could be coming down the pipe. So yeah, look, excited about creating and getting back into the flow of those things.
For sure.
Art.
And getting First Sky Omaha to the next level. So
Yeah,
we've
man,
a lot
that
of
too.
plans, a lot of things that we've been planning and putting down on paper, getting ready for, trying to raise funds for, and then consulting with other partners on some things as well. So that's definitely the key is to keep growing organically like we've been doing, and could not do it without you guys for sure. So really appreciate it. Mama got in the chat because she heard her name. She said, "Good morning, First Sky. Miss you all, but she's back in the O and back on First Sky. That's what's up.
Hey,
Right on.
yeah,
Thank you.
good to see
Thank
you
you."
back in the chat, ma.
Brother Kasim said, "Man, I'm out here driving the 18 wheeler in Des Moines this morning. Working for my funding." He said, "We have another huge announcement possibly over the weekend. I need a break, but I can't catch one, man."
Man, man.
Well, I tell you what, bro. The growth is in the air, and a lot of it's because of what you guys are doing at the BAA, man. So I'm looking forward to whatever new announcements you got again. That's crazy.
I mean, I think y'all just missed what the man said. Driving the 18 wheeler, getting to it on
Yep.
the hustle this morning, man. I definitely appreciate you tuning in out there on the road. Please drive safely.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yeah, is that y'all 18 wheeler? Is that another thing the BAA is getting down on?
I think that's probably the job that's paying for things that going on at the BAA.
Man,
All I gotta say is drive safe, bro.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Rainy out there. We need you. Drive slow. Drive slow. Ron's review said, hit the like, subscribe, share button. Please do that over on YouTube. We're gonna keep on trying to build that YouTube audience even all through the break.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate that. Pop says, dare to create. I heard that. He's
Indeed.
giving us suggestions on season 7's theme. Yeah, it's getting close. The first thing I came up with was something like create and love.
Mm-hmm.
We got a big love theme going on. The love soldiers in the creation soldiers, the
Yeah,
art
man.
soldiers, really kind of being out here making things happen. Art is kind of what we consider the one of the best ways to battle all this stuff out here is to really kind of love first and create with your loved ones. So
Yeah, man.
we're coming to it. We're coming to it. It's even a form of activism. That was one we were throwing around too. Is
Yeah, yeah. Artist activism.
artist activism. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. But keep the suggestions coming. We appreciate that. Anthony Rogers Rice said Caucasians putting black folk to the test today. Lord, okay, man,
Man.
we need to send somebody over there for you, bro. What's happening?
Yeah, let us know. Let us
Out in
know.
DC dealing with it. Jay Carter in the chat. Good morning. He says, "Good morning. Great season. Have a good holiday break. Appreciate you
Thank
very
you.
much."
Thank you.
Roscoe Wallace in the house. What's happening, man? It's a good
Okay, peace,
morning, good
peace.
brother. Yeah, that's what's up, man. All right, we got a nice mix of people in here this morning. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Doing
here
all in.
again on this last episode of season 6, preparing for season 7. So, we're gonna be taking a little hiatus from broadcasting and putting together some things, man. So definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in here on this episode.
Yep.
Just about I guess 4 minutes left what's going on? What you checking out? What's new with you?
Man, nothing the same. I'm the same boat you are, man. Just getting hyped about all we're gonna do in season 7. Just getting back in creation mode and all that good stuff. So, so just looking forward to it, man. Looking forward to a little bit of a break and making it happen, making it happen.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and dive into some things we will be talking about today.
Sure.
It is kind of some interesting things going on. I don't know if anybody has caught wind of this huge lawsuit, but this is something we're definitely going to be talking about well into season 7. I can definitely, foresee that lawsuit coming out of Alabama, actually alleging that the prison system and private companies involved in modern day slavery, quote unquote, something that we've been talking about, knowing that Nebraska's prison system is in shambles. This is definitely another addition to the conversation, a much needed addition to the conversation. So we definitely want to dive into that. Also, um, Facebook and Google data centers among latest developments transforming Nebraska farmland. This is going on about the Who's Buying Nebraska series. Shout out to our partners at Flatwater Free Press for this. Again, a lot of interesting conversations coming out of this as well, as far as who is buying up our land and exactly what are they doing with the state's land, as far as multinational corporations and again, mega giants like Facebook and Google, again, buying land in Nebraska. What are they doing with it? So, we talking about that. Also, the state ombudsman's office says health agencies is blocking it from law required inspections. Again, we've been talking about this recent legal opinion that has been blocking Health and Human Services and the Department of Corrections from getting any real information out to the legislature's inspectors general. And now, again, and not just child welfare, not just prisons, but the health agencies wondering what's going on again in their services and the world quality. Again, what is going on with the Department of Health and Human Services? Hopefully, we will find out throughout all of this. And then also the juvenile justice system recently getting a grant of $600,000 following a multi-year dry spell. So hopefully we'll dive into why that dry spell was and exactly what this grant goes toward. A lot of things to talk about. As always, if there's anything on your hearts and minds that we're not talking about, feel free to drop that into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. Here again on this last episode of season 6.
Yeah,
All
man.
be.
Yeah, it's coming on through. Appreciate everybody that's in the chat right now too, man. Brother Kasim says not ours. Talking about the 18 wheel. He says not ours, not of yet. The gas prices are too high. It is much safer financially to run freight through already set companies. So
There you go.
being a smart businessman is always the case. I appreciate that. Anthony Rogers Wright said, "Just send Kasim. The Caucasians is messing with you." He said, "Send Kasim, but they're not ready for Big Q in the swamp."
Okay, our brother Anthony Rogers right out there on the campaign trail with the good doctor.
Yeah, man. Yeah, appreciate that. I went over to Sydney last night too, man, and they're still buzzing about that. They're still
Man.
couldn't believe, they were just like, he's everything that you thought he was, and then some. Everybody was still buzzing on it, man. It was great. So that was a legendary visit, and I can't wait for him to come back. And it seems like everybody feels the same way. So shout out to you guys, all the work you guys are doing.
Yeah, man.
And good luck to the campaign there. So yeah, that's what's up, man. Lots of good stuff to talk about. Lots of good stuff to catch up on. And again, this is the last show of season 6. We'll be going on a break as of the end of this show, and then we'll be back January 15th for season 7. So yeah, let's go ahead and fire it on up right now, man. Get this show on the road. Get this discussion happening, and can't wait to hear all you guys' comments in a fresh edition of First Sky Omaha in the morning.
in the morning.
Let's go.
Let's start the show.
What up? What up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Once again, you're listening to First Guy Omaha Radio. First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All be the dove, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you chat chimers, ghost listeners, radio listeners. Thanks for joining us on this Friday, December 15th, 2023, last show of season 6, and I'm happy to share it with you. Anthony Rogers Wright is bringing up a subject I'm thinking that we're going to be talking a lot more about coming up too in future shows, water, which is
Man,
saying the new commodity. He said it's not just the land they're after as much as the water. That's about to be the new commodity. That's going to be tough.
no, not the new commodity. The most expensive commodity is what he's saying in the chat, but the comment above that, man.
Yeah, man. So, yeah, I definitely think, we've been hearing rumblings on a few things that have to do with water shortages, all kinds of things that are coming up, man. We're going to have to talk about it.
Man, we got to talk about this film, man. It's kind of where my mind is going. This latest film from Barack and Michelle. I don't know if you heard about everybody talking about it. Leave Earth Behind.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't heard about that.
Yeah. Let me know if y'all heard about that in the chat. If you've seen it, Mama God kind of put me on to it. I guess a friend of hers was telling her about it, and I've been seeing a few people on social media talking about it. A lot of people buzzing. Apparently, it was produced by Michelle and Barack, and it's kind of a dystopian film, a little bit.
He's done with hope, huh?
Man. Man, yeah, the film is the film is interesting, but when Brother Anthony Rogers Wright talking about people trying to take over the water and resources and things like that, that's kind of where my mind went. I'll be honest, that's where my mind went.
Dystopian futures.
Yeah, Kimra, you seen the new film? It's interesting. It's basically the film is about some rogues services or individuals taking over and attacking America. Like that's yeah.
The film is called No We Can't. No, I was playing.
Man, yeah, it was. I'm still kind of trying to wrap my head around the fact that Barack and Michelle, has something to do with this. But yeah.
Interesting. We got a good morning from Whitney Richardson. Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming on in. We had a discussion about her coming on as a political pundit on the show in season 7.
Man, yeah,
so be looking forward to that. Keaton Zykel's in the chat. Good morning to you. Appreciate you very appreciate you very much for coming in as well. Thanks for giving us that link to the service yesterday for Brother Ed Poindexter, and appreciate all the work that you do to cover those stories, man. It's still Ed Poindexter, rest in peace. It's still devastating that this has gone down like it has, man. And like the family said, it's not over.
Yeah, and actually, to my understanding, that was just a viewing or a service. I think the actual service is today, right after the show at Salem at 10.
Believe so, yeah. Believe so. I don't have any documentation for that. So, Keaton, if you have anything, let us know, and I will definitely try to get that information out too. But yeah, thank you for keeping us up on those things, and like I said, man, rest in peace, Ed Poindexter for sure.
Yeah.
Tamika Johnson in the chat says, I like the movie. Okay, I have to check this movie out. Kimber said it was crazy. I had to watch it again. I'm going to have to check it out for real. Cyber warfare. Okay. That's how it starts. Man, this sounds like I definitely need to go check this out and see what's going on here with this. She says, actually, I saw the book at Two Dads in a bookstore. I didn't know it was a book before then. Okay. Definitely look into this. Definitely.
Yeah. It's called Leave Earth Behind. I didn't know it was a book as well. Mahershala Ali in it. Yeah, it's just, it's
wow. So it's a fictional film then? It's not. It's like a fictional film. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. Kimber's talking about Ed Poindexter's repass. She said Malcolm X, I believe. Yeah, if we get any information on that, any flyers or any times or anything, let us know. Put it in the chat. put on Friends of First Sky Omaha if we don't get to it first. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I did. I do think Keatron gave us some information at the end of the last episode. But yeah, if you still got that information, Keatron, please drop that back in the chat so we can direct people to go honor our brother,
Yeah,
Ed Poindexter.
Yeah, saw a little bit of Ernie Chambers speaking yesterday on the subject, and so that was good. I can't really I didn't really recognize where they were at, but the live stream came in pretty clear. We went ahead and put it on Friends of First Sky Omaha, so you can rewatch that if you wanted to and hear Brother Chambers speak. Also, Runs Review says I don't I don't wash my truck because of money and water. Trying to get the deed to my house because of cyber warfare and took my emergency fund out of the bank.
Hmm. Hmm.
You making moves like it's about to go down.
Man, he like the Kevin Bacon character in there. I'm telling you, you gotta check it out. You gotta check it out. He the man with the cowboy hat.
All right, I'm definitely gonna look for that. Is it on Netflix or what? Where's it at?
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's on Netflix.
All right, I gotta get somebody else's Netflix now. I
Ah,
let it go ever since they made it so that you can't watch somebody else's Netflix. I'm like, man,
yeah.
gotta go over to their house and watch it. I wait till I go out and visit pops and check it out.
Just all I gotta say is I'm glad Mama God was just here.
There you go. You got caught up in your Netflix. That's what's up. Kimmer Snipes says, today is the last day of my legislative advocacy training.
Nice.
Terry Sanders is also in my class. That's what's up.
Okay. Is that like the lobbying class you've been talking about?
That's what's up, man. Appreciate that. Our advocacy training, definitely something we definitely need. Like I said, we've been tossing that word lobbying and advocacy around this whole season, man. So
Yeah.
definitely need some training, more talking, more boost to the roots on that one as well. Keaton says in the chat, says service today is at Salem Baptist at 10 a.m. 3131 Lake Street. There will be a lunch at Malcolm X afterward. Okay,
There you go.
that.
There you
Thank
go.
very
So,
much.
again, laying our brother to rest today. Again, brother Ed Poindexter, who man passed while behind bars. You know, again, a long fight to get him to join his family in his later days, and apparently Nebraska corrections would not budge. And actually, we had a hard time getting parole. You know, the parole board to even show up.
50 plus years behind bars over something over being innocent. It's really it's a shame, man. It's really sad. That makes both Ed Poindexter and Mondo pass in jail. You know, still trying to clear their names. So it's just yeah. Heart goes. Yeah, I hear that, man. I hear that. I got a chance to talk to a family member and just hear from them how it is they're feeling and what they've been going through, and it's tough. It's really tough, but yeah. 10 o'clock today. We'll lay him to rest. Like I said, every time I've talked to the family's like, this fight is not over. They need to pay for this. I don't blame them. Appreciate that. Maggie Miller Jenkins in the chat says it's a hate crime committed by the state of Nebraska.
Man. Again, I've called out several times when we talk about our corrections. And Paul, I think you kind of see where this is going as far as what story we need to go ahead and dive into.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been calling for human rights violations for quite some time. Again, Alabama and Nebraska, those are the kind of the top two, the top two that jockey back and forth for the most crowded prison system in the country.
Right.
And again, it's quite ironic that Alabama just got sued. Again, Nebraska and Alabama are the top two most overcrowded prison systems. Not Texas, not California, not New York, Nebraska and Alabama. And recently, this coming out of the Alabama political reporter, there's a lawsuit alleging that prison system and private companies involved in modern day slavery. So, when are we going to talk more about what's going on in our prison system in a real context?
Yep. Good question. You jumping into the story?
Yeah, let's go ahead. Go ahead. Let us know what you think about this. Definitely kind of expecting this to be the big story because this is big news. Big shout out to Chat Chimers keeping us aware of this. As the story reads, a new federal class action lawsuit filed Tuesday alleges that Alabama's prison system, parole system, and private companies are involved in a practice of forced labor that generates a profit of $450 million for the state, akin to modern day slavery. Labor corps from Alabama's disproportionately black incarcerated population is a fuel that fires ADOC's extremely lucrative profit making engine. That's according to the suit. The suit was filed in collaboration between current and former incarcerated people, national labor unions, and civil rights organizations. The individual plaintiffs in the suit include Robert Earl Counsel, aka Kinetic Justice, Alamero English, LaCura Walker, and Michael Campbell, along several others. They represent those similarly situated to them, meaning over 20,000 current and former Alabama workers who have been put through the alleged forced labor practice. Several unions and civil rights organizations are named in the suit, including the Union of Southern Service Workers, Retail, Wholesale, and Department Store Union, Mid-South Council, and the Woods Foundation. The AFL-CIO is not named, but is also standing in support of the plaintiffs as they bring the suit. So again, I'll stop there, but a lot more to this conversation. And the question was brought up because at the heart of this lawsuit is the relationship between not only the parole system, not only the prisons, but also private corporations. And that's not exactly the case here in Nebraska, to our understanding, as far as not private companies, private prisons. That really doesn't exist in Nebraska. But again, federal overcrowding emergency since what? 2019, 2020? Nothing has been done. We've talked to Senator Terrell McKinney, who's been pushing for NSP to be shut down. First, they said they would shut it down. Now they're saying they're not. There's a whole controversy in Lincoln about where to build the next prison. We already know that they have money set aside and plans for another prison after the next prison gets built. Everything is overcrowded. Everything is understaffed. But there's no private prisons. Right. But again, who's making money off all of that?
It's the labor. It's the pretty much the slave labor that they got going on. That's big business. Shout out to Marianne Williams for dropping this article in Friends of First Sky Omaha. Her comment was, "This is an important lawsuit. Alabama does have a for-profit prison industrial complex, while Nebraska does not. But someone is profiting on Nebraska prison labor. We've asked why the plan now is to keep the old penitentiary open after being told it was too far gone to fix. What we haven't been demanding answers to is who is profiting on Nebraska prison labor. These answers could explain everything from the desire to build more prisons to the apathetic approach to programming to parole board slow walking, parole dates, and more." So, very good points there. I think, and again, shout out to Marianne Williams for dropping that in and dropping a comment in about that, because it's very true. It's really kind of got your mind going on that. Now that we kind of understand, I feel like this has been kind of in the zeitgeist for a little minute. Shout out to Ava DuVernay for the movie 13th. That put it back in the conversation that it's modern day slavery is what's going on with this, and that there's a big business behind slave labor and everything else that's going on. So she's right. It could answer a whole lot of questions there. So yeah, I'm kind of like tripping that nobody's filed a lawsuit before.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, that's what's kind of crazy too. Is like nobody. This is the first time we're hearing about a law, litigation here in this instance. And all it would really take is just to figure out like who's profiting, like she's saying, like who is profiting.
And to that point, I just dropped a link in our chat if you want to check that out and possibly share this website. This is something that I just did a quick research of, and this is kind of what I'm looking through. This is very interesting. It's basically the Nebraska's prison workforce website, and it shows you what markets they work in, some of the services they provide, and who receives those services. So again, we know the state is making money off of it, but all of these other entities are also benefiting. I don't know if they're necessarily making money, but they are benefiting from the services of Nebraska's labor, inmate labor.
Right.
And it is interesting because I don't know if it wasn't a lot of fanfare about it. It wasn't a lot of media surrounding this. I do remember we did interview a few people a couple times, a mine and so about this, but A few years ago, I do believe again there was a vote to remove effectively the 13th Amendment from the Nebraska state constitution. Now, I do believe it's still on the federal,
No, I don't think it was the 13th Amendment. I think it was to remove slavery from the Nebraska
what is the
Constitution.
13th Amendment?
No, the 13th Amendment is that's is the 13th Amendment is different from what was in the Nebraska um, Constitution. They were it was an old slavery law that they just kept all this time and didn't let it go. So, but the 13th Amendment is talking about is a situation where you are free. There's no more slavery except for if you're in the state, is a state award of the state, or any of those types of things, and that's in federal. That's like all over the country. The slavery the designation of slaves in Nebraska, I believe was another thing that they were trying to pull off that they hadn't pulled off in years, or they were supposed to pull off years ago.
So what it was basically every, and I'm sure you know parts of this, but every state constitution has to align with and by most parts copies the federal constitution until the state's legislatures made their amendments and changes. So it was the same thing. It was the same exact law. The 13th Amendment in the federal United States Constitution reads neither slavery nor
Oh, right,
involuntary
right.
servitude, except as punishment for crime whereof the party shall be duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction, i.e., the states individually. But
Right.
again, there was a vote several years ago in this to change that same law, but on the state level. And so you're correct as far as yes, it's still a law federally on the United States Constitution level. But the point is that has been changed and addressed on the state level in Nebraska. Yet we're not really
Yeah,
seeing
they ain't acting like it.
right. That's my point. That's my point.
Ain't acting like it. That's for real. I'm gonna jump in the chat real quick. Back up a little further up. Maggie Miller Jenkins said Ernest Jackson has 22 years, similar to Brother Poindexter.
Yep.
Nebraska has a hate fueled policing and incarceration systems. Very, very true. Kimber Snipes says Tila Mickles called it out at Omaha 360, as well as Tamika called out Tony Connor and Aaron Hansen yesterday, or at the 360 meeting. Yeah, shout out to Kimber for showing up to that meeting and giving us a little report on that for sure. Anthony Rogers Rice says, I guess Joe Biden and Kamala haven't gotten around to it yet.
Mm.
Marlon Harrison said, excuse me, y'all. I'm having a little trouble with the voice today. Marlon Harrison said, my dad told me he remembered when the bombing happened. He told me that when the bomb went off, my grandpa dropped my aunt, who had just come home from the hospital, and that's why she's 5'8". That's wow. Okay. It's really interesting that we have people in the chat that have direct correlation to like what happened then with Brother Ed Point. The reason why Brother Ed Poindexter and Mondo were in jail in the first place, who were getting accused of. It really affected families in Omaha in a big way. So, yeah, bomb went off. These brothers got blamed for it, and then a bunch of evidence over years came out that it wasn't. They didn't have anything to do with it. So they just been in jail all this time, and ended up passing away in jail, which is really disgraceful. Rose Review says, along with the most crowded comes most violent, understaffed, over budget, and outdated, etc. Our jail system here. Kimmer says, I remember when I was trying to warn people about Aaron, many of the North O pastors was on his team too. Interesting. Anthony Rogers Wright says 450 million courtesy of crime Bill, Joe, and the Democrats, the party of the people. Call it like you see it. Maggie Miller Jenkins says, where is Nebraska ACLU's teeth? Good question. Where are our lawsuits, criminal cases, anything coming out saying we're doing our people dirty? Been wondering about that too. Like we got wind of some of the work the ACLU's been doing on different issues in the state of Nebraska. But yes, like what are they out in the forefront when it comes to the prison system and the violations that are happening there? Also, Kimmer Snipes says Department of Labor had tables and chairs made by prisoners when I was working out of the Heartland Workforce Solutions.
Oh man, let me try to show this. It's a whole thing. It's everybody. Can y'all see this? Cornhusker State Industries. Here's the markets.
Industries.
State government, conference rooms, fire departments, NRDs, churches, schools, gyms. nonprofits, libraries, everybody. The chair you might be sitting in right now might have been made by an inmate.
Yeah, I'm coming from California. I know a lot about some of the inmates that are put out in the front lines with the California fires.
Yeah,
Not to mention services on top of markets. Yeah, here's services right here. You're seeing
yeah. Laundry services, floor mat services, printing services.
dollar a month, $2 a month, straight up slave labor. Brother McKinney, Senator McKinney's in the chat. Cornhusker Industries is the state ran prison labor company.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just found that interesting. Maggie Miller Jenkins says crazy that we had multiple lawyers and senators, and we haven't had any litigation coming from the current or former lawyers that I've heard of. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I hadn't really heard of any. That's what I'm saying. It's such a story. It's like how come nobody sued them before yet, or for a lot of stuff. Whitney Richardson says the Alabama lawsuit can serve as a template for a similar suit in Nebraska. It'll be interesting to see what results from it. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's kind of one of the reasons why I believe Marianne Williams dropped in the chat. We kind of saw right away this is something we better look at because of our prison situation here. It's kind of incredible that we have been copying this state. Our state copies a lot of things other states do. When we found out that there's no private prisons here, I had to put the word "yet" at the end of that sentence because
Man, that we know of.
yeah, right. Maggie Miller Jenkins says slavery never ended; they just rebranded. That's right.
Yep.
Marla Harrison says, like I said before, why are they building more prisons and when every other day they are on the news complaining about how they short staff? Yeah,
Mm, good
that's
question.
great. Very good questions, and as you can see, we're definitely fired up about this. Going to continue to talk about this throughout the seasons because it's kind of one of those evergreen topics for us. Thanks, shout out to Senator McKinney and Senator Wayne who brings it to our attention. Sometimes in the legislature, it's not the sexy bill that everybody wants to go fight for, but the bills and the things that we need to change the laws and to get something going differently here are there too, and people have an attitude about prison and people in prison and all these things that need to change so we can make some change happen because it's really unfair the system. It feels like you're fighting the whole country,
Man.
but you can start in the state. You know what I mean? Like you can start where you're at. So yeah, it's unfortunate, man. It's such an unfair, messed up scenario. It's really concerning.
Man.
Rose Review says I have to pay my loan off soon. The bank and the bank has my deed. Then I'll register it for. Not seeing your whole message there, Brother Romes. Appreciate you giving us some of that insight on your personal situation and how to battle some things. Maggie Miller Jenkins says my husband is a corporal and now has to wear a staff vest and tells me daily how low the staff rate is. Wow.
Man, I can just imagine what the morale amongst staff is. Like it's not the type of place you want to be at as a worker or as an inmate.
Yeah. Yeah. Most def, man. There was something in the news. We hadn't really talked about it, but there was an article in the news about somebody who in Tecumseh that killed another inmate, stabbed another inmate. Is just now getting convicted for it now, a couple years
Mhm.
later.
Mhm.
So you can imagine that there's violence inside. If there's lack of staff, that means the staff is more at risk. There's a lot to it. So overcrowding, understaffing sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, and it's not just the violence from other inmates that incarcerated individuals have to worry about. There's been several health related deaths that have happened in Tecumseh and NSP, a few community centers, some questionable deaths that are at the center of this whole state ombudsman and inspectors general situation. Again, not just the Department of Health and Human Services, but corrections has cut off the legislature's inspectors general from really getting any information. And specifically, inspectors generals from the legislature have been trying to get information on a few deaths that have happened in Nebraska prison. So, again, what is really going on in these situations? And unfortunately, it's not just a Nebraska or Alabama issue. I'm hearing more and more and learning more and more about what's going down here in Georgia. Again, Fulton County, not even the state prisons, but the county prison that, if you remember, several months ago, That was a facility where the young man was found with the bed bugs, and he was bitten to death.
Oh,
That was down here, and it's been several other deaths that have happened at Fulton County jail. So again, what is going on in our in our prisons and jails? There's actually some anecdote and some stories in this Alabama Political Reporter article. One individual is giving a kind of a take on how they worked, and this is making me think of the articles from Chris Baby Boy Bolin and the meat packing plants.
mm,
They says we will work from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. 12 hours a day with no sufficient clothing to accommodate the job. Some days we were freezing cold, 30 or 40 degrees. If you didn't work, you were at risk of going back to the prison or getting a disciplinary. He went on to say, you have so many women on the inside now who are afraid to speak out of fear of retaliation. Those women really need help. They need a voice. And again, we haven't even really talked about women incarcerated individuals. Let's be honest. Again, needing health care monthly. Man, yeah, it's a whole situation as far as what is really going on with our incarcerated population.
yeah. Pretty unfortunate. We mentioned before that First Guy Omaha is working on a documentary film with the in Metropolitan Community College 180 reentry program. So I'm learning a lot, and just talking to some people that are still in and they're going to get out soon. Still really trying to transition back into society. All the things they got to do in order to really get back. Find work, find housing, reintegrate themselves into society. How tough that is. But man, a motivating factor is getting out of there. All of them say it. They're still, some of them are still in, so they're not saying too much about their conditions, but they are saying, what keeps me on the straight path to try to do what I got to do to not come back, to not re-enter jail system again, is knowing how terrible the situation is here. Like, we don't want to ever come back to this. So, man, just hearing it from people firsthand, it's a tough situation. It's super tough situation.
Yeah, and speaking of those trying to get out, it's not just the conditions inside, it's not just the prisons themselves, but also named in this lawsuit are the parole board, and the whole parole system, and kind of by proxy also the attorney general of the state of Alabama and the governor. And again, the same could be said for Nebraska. Pillen, the attorney general, the state's parole board, they're all in question. And mind you, the governor is the one who appoints the state's parole board. And I think the governor and the attorney general are a part of the parole board.
Mm,
Correct me if I'm wrong.
mm. We've been talking to the senators about the changes that need to happen with the parole board. Give them to just show up and do their job. You know what I mean? Yeah, tough. Tough situation. We'll definitely continue to talk about this, and really help. I think that next year when the legislative season starts back up, brother Senator McKinney's going to keep on trying to push for the things he was pushing with reform, with all kinds of prison reform, and this time around, hopefully we'll put Boost to the roots and really get some help him go up there and get some support behind his push, and us, give our testimonies, talk to family members that are incarcerated or that have been incarcerated, really kind of take some stories to the legislation, see if some bills can get passed in order to really calm this thing down some. And I'm hoping that we did enough discussion and gathering and organizing folks to be able to do that next legislative season. So
Yeah, I mean, we definitely need some reform, but I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm kind of feeling like this might be, in the words of Von Chapman, litigation, litigation, litigation. Like this might be the route to go, because we've seen that it's not a sexy bill. It's not. It's going to be hard to get, um, and we got to follow the money. Like who in the legislature is actually kind of getting their pockets lined from this prison system? Like we
mm,
really got to dig into seeing what's really going on with this, because there's already opposition to it, and we try to put a little more fire into it. Is it's only going to get stronger
it's real.
as far as the opposition. So yeah, litigation, litigation. I don't know if a bill will be the answer.
Excuse me. I think it's going to be both. I think we're going to need litigation and the law to change. You know what
Word,
I'm
word.
saying? And the people to
Yeah.
speak up. So, Keaton's Cycle in the chat says two different boards: pardons, which is government or gov attorney general, and Secretary of State Parole Board has other appointed members who are not, who weren't showing up to the meetings. So
Okay, thank you,
I
thank you.
appreciate that very much. Yeah, lots more to talk about this on for real. Maggie Miller Jenkins says, if they speak in money, why aren't we talking their language?
Mm.
Yeah, that's an interesting take. Definitely have to talk about. She says, we are why are all those businesses buying inmate made furniture? If we can boycott companies for a ceasefire, why can't we do the same for slave labor? Absolutely can.
Hmm.
So there you go. Another solution is to kind of look into those organizations, look into those companies benefiting, boycott those companies, litigation, and law change, and then maybe we'll make some move the needle here when it comes to the prison system in a real way. So
Man.
lots to it, and great suggestions. Really appreciate everybody who's in the chat adding to this conversation there, and I appreciate you guys in the chat talking to each other about some looks like some pretty important things about property taxes and things too. So if you're not checking out the chat, please go back and do so. If you miss any parts of the show, you can go back and watch it in entirety on Facebook and YouTube. And I suggest you look at the chats both, so you can kind of get the whole picture of what our First Guy Omaha family is talking about here. So really appreciate that very much.
Yeah,
Brittany
man.
Richardson likes the 3-part strategy. I mean, it's really going to take it all. It's really going to take it all. So we feel fortunate that we have lawyers in the camp. We got lawmakers in the camp, and boots to the roots, grassroots people who are thinking ahead enough to say, hey, let's hit them in the pockets. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Appreciate everybody's comments. 7:46 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll come back and jump into some other things to talk about too. Again, this is our last show of the season, season
Man.
6 today. Definitely want to have enough time for some haps. Being Haps Friday. A little later on in the show, stick around for that, and also just some reflections on what's going on, what happened this last season, and what's going to happen in the next season. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But first and foremost, we'll jump into a little break and come back and jump back into some stories. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Guy Omaha Radio, First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you.
Hey.
Yeah, we're doing it. Welcome back. You're listening to First Guy Omaha Radio, First Guy Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd. How you feeling, man?
Man, I'm all right.
Doing good? You doing good?
Yeah.
I see your wheels turning over there on this prison stuff. It's got you thinking deep.
Oh yeah. I'm also trying to read ahead on the next story during the break, so don't pay me no mind. But yeah, man, my mind is definitely going on this whole prison story. I'm kind of looking more into this Cornhusker State Industries website and just getting a feel for what this is. Man, is very interesting. So far as what it is to me, man. Yeah, man, just looking at how many different entities, I definitely agree with Maggie Miller Jenkins in the chat saying how does a nonprofit and church look buying slave labor furniture? This is a moral problem as well. And I'm looking more and more through this. I mean, it's the idea of a boycott of these industries, in essence sounds good, but how do you boycott schools? How do you boycott court? How do you boycott hospitals? These are the entities that I'm seeing.
that are buying from these this slave labor companies.
Right, right. It's the government. This it's how the government makes its furniture is by incarcerated individuals, which is quite interesting when you think about all the things that are put in place. The kind of we've been talking about it. Of course, the government is not going to combat poverty. They need incarcerated individuals to make their chairs and tables.
Well, it needed slaves to build the White House, so why not?
Hey,
Yeah. Maggie Miller Jenkins saying, point of protest, bring some awareness to this, hold these entities accountable and make them stop doing it.
agreed.
Yeah, make some awareness happen there. So, and I'm sure that there's a whole lot of other businesses and entities that are using the products made by slave labor as well.
Oh
You
yeah,
know, and
your Coca Colas and
it's got to be, man. It's got to be. And that's the thing I was thinking about is going down the rabbit hole, even finding out who's using that stuff or what the. I mean, it's a revelation to a lot of us right now about how many different things that are being made and sold
I
by
mean,
slave labor. You know what I mean?
you gotta really look at the business, man. It's a business. It's a business. The whole thing. However you feel, you just gotta really look. I'm speaking factual. You just gotta really look at it. It's a business.
Yeah.
It's a business. Those same businesses, regardless of how you feel, take it for how you want. Those same businesses are supporting Israel. And I just found out that the Atlanta police is training Israeli
Man,
police. Cop City.
they was it you that sent me that article about them going out there getting training every year from Israeli policing, seeing how the Israelis police their areas and coming back and using those tactics here.
It's the other way around.
They're going.
They're coming here.
Wow. Ooh, man, that's heavy, bro.
Again, and how they talk about the Omaha police, the big tactical 88 family center that they're building out there. I wouldn't be surprised if it was the same deal with the Omaha police. I don't know for sure. I'm gonna look into it, but I wouldn't be surprised.
Mm. More suggestions in the chat here on how to boycott and things like that. Stuart Brother Knight, good morning, says how to boycott said institutions, remove the communal behaviors which feed those institutions. Hear that. Whitney Richardson says bad press for these entities too. People's public perception means everything to them. Mm.
Yeah.
Megan Miller Jenkins says we've been told over and over to speak for the voiceless. Are we doing them justice if we don't have some pushback?
Oh yeah, you gotta have some pushback. And I'm not saying don't protest. I'm just saying, you gotta be aware. It's not just not going to Starbucks or not. Like you gotta think, how can we, heal our own sick, educate our own.
Right. Yeah, most def. Michelle Weston is in the chat. Good morning. She says prisons are business. Why do you think there's such a push for privatization of prisons? I haven't heard about whether or not there is a big push for privatizations of the jail system here in prison system here in Nebraska too much. But thinking about how other states are doing things and how Nebraska usually tries to follow suit, I'm not surprised. It's just obviously something I haven't heard is a push yet, but I'm sure it is. I'm sure it's a business like it as is. Can you imagine if they allowed private prisons here as well? So, yeah, it's a trip, man. Kimmer Snipes says for gunning down. Oh, she's talking about another story here. Where did she start? She says, I see Hannah Payne in Atlanta get sentenced today for gunning down that black man she chased, even though the police told her to stop. Sorry, my cousin just. Oh, okay. Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Yeah, there's a couple cases around that we haven't really gotten into around the country where there's been some police on trial. Some have gotten off, just like how they normally do. And like I said, I was hoping there was going to be a big shift after George Floyd when it came to that kind of stuff. But it seems like it's going back to how it was before, and back to normal a little bit. So, yeah. Appreciate your comments. Conversations. Miss Cheryl Weston is saying the push was under Ricketts and suddenly got quiet. Yeah. Push for privatization.
Okay.
Yeah, push for privatization of prisons.
Well, I mean, you remember that Ricketts did take in corporal punishment, in his own hands as far as the execution and going and using his own money to buy the death serum that the drugs needed for a lethal injection, even though the people voted against it. I mean, that sounds like privatization to me. Using your own
Man, that's
money.
so corrupt, bro. Every time I think about that, that's so messed up. It's so corrupt. How do people like that not get in trouble for that?
How's that not a human rights violation?
How is that not? How is not in prison for that? How is he not in prison for that? Moving on. Again, 7:55. If you believe in the concept of time, thanks for joining us on this final day of season 6. Appreciate everybody. Give us your thoughts. Put it in the chat. Think about how
Yeah.
the boosts to the roots have gone. We also want to remind people that throughout the whole season, we were challenging you to join your neighborhood association or start one if your neighborhood did not have one. Let us know how many people did that. Looked into your neighborhood association, joined it. Has anybody been in any meetings for neighborhood associations? How have you gotten closer to being a part of your neighborhood and gathering together, organizing that way? Also, Boots to the Roots was the theme of this season. And so let us know about some of the things you did for advocacy and some of the things that you did to push things, meetings that you went to, places that in the legislature that you went to this season. Let us know. Let us know about some of the activity that you engaged in, if you saw the needle move at all for some of the work that's been done. And then give us suggestions on how to continue that. Even though we switched to different themes in different seasons, we carry those themes on with us throughout all the seasons. So now we've added Boost to the Roots to all the rest of it. Follow the money, to journalism as activism, to making sure that we are in the right space being the place. Ballot of the bullet. It's going to be a
Man.
time for elections next year. So yeah, let us know. Let us know if how to incorporate more boots to the roots going forward, and we'd love to hear from you on that on those issues as well. So we're coming up on the second hour. We definitely have a few more stories to talk about, but definitely want to spend some time reflecting on the season, talking about what's coming up next season, and have some time for the haps as well. So anyway, again, appreciate everybody who's here with us, sharing this last day of the season with us. Buddy, how you feeling? What you thinking over there?
Man, I'm just trying to make sure we get into the articles that have enough time towards the end and
Yeah,
talk about what you're talking
yeah.
about. Because I am excited about some of the changes and some of the things coming down the pipe for season 7, and just the future of First Sky Omaha. Always thinking about that. So yeah, but still some things to talk about.
Yeah, man. Which ones? What's standing out to you right now?
Well, we can go ahead and pivot into this ombudsman conversation, because again, we've been talking about Nebraska's correctional facilities and its whole system, but it's not the department, not just the Department of Corrections in Nebraska, but also the Department of Health and Human Services, kind of wrapped up in controversy, and they're saying a legal opinion in August that blocks the ombudsman as well as the legislature's inspectors general from access is good. They're saying again, the Nebraska Ombudsman Office says it's being blocked from performing inspections of state facilities required by law, making it impossible to check into citizen complaints about institutions such as the State Youth Retreat Center, or excuse me, State Youth Treatment Centers in Lincoln Regional Center. Also, State Ombudsman Julie Rogers said the limited contact or communication from the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services has blocked her legislatively created agency from providing an annual report on the state and the conditions of such institutions. Just kind of a side note, I'm also remembering not just individuals or citizens complaining about these institutions, but workers complaining about the institution as well. Employees, if you remember, there was a whole boycott and a whole protest from employees at the mental health facility in Lincoln, calling out work conditions and things like that. So it's kind of a twofold issue that's going on again in our Department of Health and Human Services. Also, quoted in this, Rogers went on to say comprehensive requests were made to DHHS about aspects of the facility, such as staffing, construction projects, assaults, and capacity, as done in prior years for this project. And for the first time, this information has not been provided. A spokesperson with DHHS did say that an August legal opinion by the state attorneys general that served to block access to information by Inspector General for Child Welfare and Corrections also apply to ombudsman's offices, which oversees those attorney generals. Jeff Powell with DHHS said that the agency remains committed to quote unquote transparency, serving residents in our care, and finding resolutions to their issues, and has not blocked residents, patients of their facilities from reaching out to the ombudsman's office. So they're saying they want to be transparent, but obviously there's some information getting out and some people within their facilities feeling like they're not being heard. So what say you?
Good question. Yeah. Yeah, let us know. Shout out to Paul Philbin for putting that in Friends of Her Sky Omaha, dropping that article. Always up on some of the news that's going on there, even if it slides under the radar with us. But yeah, conditions, man. What do you guys feel on this? On this as well. Kind of leave it to the chat. See, you guys are talking about a few different things, but yeah, how are you feeling about this? What can be done too? That's kind of what what I want to know. I think this one feels like one of those things you can apply pressure to in order to get
Mm-hmm.
some answers for it. You know what I'm saying? Really, how to, it goes to how people think of people that are incarcerated in the first place, and it's kind of a general like lack of care that that the phrase always comes to mind: throw them under the jail, throw them in
Man.
jail, throw away the key. You know, why would they provide nicer conditions for people they feel that way about that are in there in the first place? And
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna permeate every interaction with them. It's like human rights violations all the time, every day.
Man. And again, these are the two departments, agencies, institutions that mostly deal with the housing and care of people. Talk about prisons and mental health facilities, and actually the people in the most need. So it is very, very interesting just the level of lack of transparency that we're seeing. And again, this goes back to the whole, as far as what can be done about it. Your question goes back to the whole litigation versus legislation conversation. And this is wrapped up and surrounding a legal opinion. So they kind of already
Mhm.
went the legal litigation route. And again, there was murmurs and conversation about a possible lawsuit to challenge this. But I do think recent reports have said that they are switching to legislation. Actually, Senator McKinney is quoted in this article questioning some things that are going on with the ombudsman's office, or the lack of access from the ombudsman's office. Actually, there was a pre-session legislative retreat, which actually I do remember the senators telling us about last week, and during which apparently this came up. Senator Terrell McKinney put some respect on his name, questioned why the office was not able to get any information, uh, adding that again the ombudsman's office had free access to state institutions and files for decades and was being blocked from information. That answer was provided Wednesday by DHHS. And while some other state lawmakers said that the retreat, that DHHS and corrections were not following state law and that a lawsuit should be considered, the Speaker of the legislature, Senator John Arch, said legislative leaders are attempting to work out the dispute via legislation for at least now. So we could be seeing some bills to address this. But at any rate, there are individuals, real people in the center of this who are going through things, who are trying to be heard, and the very institutions, the very people who are supposed to listen to those people and do something about their concerns are being
Mhm.
blocked.
Well, this is one of those situations. Like I say, we have been kind of starting this phrase litigation versus legislation, but I kind of feel like it's litigation and legislation every time.
Word.
We'll really need a law change, and we also need to sue people sometimes in order to make that law change, make them do what they're supposed to be doing with the law when it's changed. So it kind of goes hand in hand, which is why I think a lot of lawmakers are lawyers in the first place. They kind of know those arguments to get in there. So yeah, I think it's a joint thing for sure. And this is one of those things I think we probably can, there's I can't see them just openly stopping this, continuing to stop this if it's exposed. So the fact that this article is out, we're talking about it. You put
Hmm.
this out there. Hey, why are you stopping people? Why are you doing this? Why are you stopping people from having the information they need? And it's already to legislative level. It's already to the senators level, asking those questions, having those meetings, and asking those questions. So I'm kind of on this one. I'm a little bit more hopeful that there may be some change down the road here if we continue to put pressure on them.
Yeah, this has definitely been one of the more reported on and covered issues. You know, there are definitely a lot more issues that happen in the state than aren't as well and frequently covered as this whole one. So I will definitely kind of keep our eyes on this and you know maybe tap some of our community partners on how to address this.
Yep. Like Tamika Johnson in the chat. Good morning. Appreciate you coming on in on YouTube. She was talking about the moving under the radar to try to push this this private prison, privatizing prisons out here in Nebraska. She
Hmm.
said Rick is mama gonna buy her baby some prisons for real. But
Man,
yeah, that's interesting. Like I said, nothing out in the open about whether or not they're trying to privatize the prisons, but they're probably moving under the radar, like she's saying, moving under the radar to make that happen.
hmm.
And yeah, appreciate that information. That's something I'm learning from the chat chambers right now. That's really interesting. Mr. Cheryl Weston, the push was under Ricketts and suddenly got quiet. And just because it got quiet don't mean it stopped.
Right, that part,
Yeah,
that part. Also, Cheryl Weston is reminding us about Brother Ed Poindexter's memorial, saying it will be streamed today from 10 to 11.
sweet.
Where will that be on that? Is that on YouTube, Facebook? Where will that be?
Yeah, if you have anybody has a link to the stream, let us know. And if you have it posted on Friends of First Sky Omaha, we'd love to have it there and pay that respect there too. So appreciate the reminder on that as well.
Yeah, man.
Maggie Miller Jenkins in the chat, already put it out there. Let us know what you did this season. Boost to the Root. She's giving us a list. Joined Secular Dems. Became a delegate. Helped start monthly free Pride events. Joined ECCO neighborhood organizations. Just
Okay.
testified multiple times at city council and legislature. Joined the Free Palestine group and continued my mutual aid projects. Doing a
Beautiful,
lot. Doing a
beautiful.
lot.
Yeah, that's boost to the roots. That's what it's about. Again, getting active in our communities. You got to be the change you like to see. And so, big shout out. I know a few other people have gone out to join their answer the call of joining their neighborhood associations. I know Mama God is one of them. A few other
Yeah.
people inquired about starting some neighborhood associations. So yeah, man, we appreciate y'all getting active in the community. That's really the hope of First Sky Omaha is to first, kind of come together, get an understanding, and then based upon that understanding, go out into the world, make some impact, do some change where we can, and then after that, we're gonna have some fun and create some stuff and kick
Yeah.
back.
Live a live one on the kickback.
Yeah,
Speaking
man.
of kickbacks, I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to have a kickback over the break because it sounds like everybody's
Ooh,
kind of doing their thing. I know Kimra is really looking forward to the next kickback. She brings it up all the time. When's it gonna happen? Reigning Dominoes champion Kimra Snipes putting Mayor Sanchez and Buddy the Guy to shame with the
man.
bones, man. We got to keep this on deck and get some. You need your revenge. You got to get back. Got to get back. Something I want to change, switch gears a little bit, just for a second. It's 8:07 right
Yeah,
now. If you
man.
believe in the concept of time, during this season and during this year, we've been celebrating the 50th year of hip hop as well, and it's something that we kind of started talking about a little earlier on, just talking about what happened in their life that hip hop touched them. What was some of the things that kind of changed your world? What was some of the albums? So we haven't talked about it for a while, but I want to put it back out there since when we come back, it will not be the 50th year of hip hop anymore. This is the
Man.
last time we'll talk about it with you guys this year. And how did it go? And it's on my mind because I met up with Jonathan Benjamin Alvarado. He came into town. We had lunch, and he asked me, did I see the Grammy 50-year celebration? I had not seen it. Man, I turned that mug on the other day and sat there crying for an hour and a half, bro. Like,
Really?
just couldn't believe.
Really?
Just, man, blew me away, bro. It blew me away because they really they brought out cast from the eras, from all the eras, and it just took me back to a time when I was so inspired. The first time, you know first few groups that really made me turn the corner and start to love hip hop. Big Daddy Kane was out there and he was doing the dances that he was doing back when he was 20. I mean, flipping over
Man. Oh
cats and
yeah.
doing stuff, like still out there. And then of course, like the headliner of the night was DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. And you forget that about that group, about them as a group back in the day
Man.
doing their thing, man. Killing it.
Chopping
Killed the
heads.
game, bro. Rakim got MC out there when Diggable Planets came on stage. I almost lost it. Diggable Planets jumped up and did cool like that. Um, when Black Sheep came out there and did The Choice Is Yours. I mean, just unbelievable performances. They did a great job to me of bringing all that back and all that feeling back, and it really was sitting there hitting me like 50 years, man, 50 years of this. You know what I'm saying? Like 50, we're in the 50th year of hip hop, and we have legends in the game. I remember being younger and like seeing celebrations of like 30, 40 years of rock and other genres, and then bringing out their elders of those genres and honoring them. And it's
Hmm.
just so interesting to be here now watching this now. So anyway, just wanted to bring it up a little bit because, like I said, man, we're in the 50th year of hip hop now, and when we come back for season 7, it'll be the 51st year. The start of another 50, and I just
Man,
wanted to kind of make sure that we spoke on that because it's the culture that has really kind of brought us together, and the reason why we do what we do. A lot of hip hop culture behind all of it, all of everything that we do as well. So
yeah.
so yeah, let us know. Still would love to know that. If you want to drop it in the chat or drop it on Friends of First Sky Omaha, what's some of the artists that got you feeling like you feel about hip hop? Let us know on that as well. Jumping in the chat real quick, I really see it. Wanda Lewis says the onset of hip hop is when I discovered that I had rhythm. Hey, there you
There
go.
you
Some
go.
self discovery through hip hop. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, that's what it's about.
Maggie Miller Jenkins said tapped into Lupe Fiasco this year, and it took me back to when we spoke on our worlds to invoke change for real. New age Sam Cooke in a different form, and I love the evolution. Nice comment.
Mm.
Nice comment. Appreciate that. Appreciate that very much.
Yeah, I think there's a some work of Lupe rhyming over Andre 3000's Flute
Have you heard
album
that? Did you hear it
somewhere.
yet?
Yeah, I haven't heard it yet. I haven't heard it yet.
Yeah, that's a trip. That's a trip. Um, Speaking of brother Ed Poindexter, who is going to have his memorial service at 10 o'clock. Brother Ed Poindexter was a musician as well and did some tracks.
Really?
I heard some of his tracks, man. Some of his like rap tracks and some of the things that he put out as well. So even in
Mm.
prison, expression, you got to get down. Whitney Richardson says Kendrick Lamar, "To Pimp a Butterfly" and "We Gonna Be All Right" was super impactful from our generation.
Oh
All of
yeah.
our
Oh yeah.
generations. All
Man, I remember speaking of that, kind of talking about impact. Just and I mentioned this before, but like that specifically, Kendrick Lamar is not To Pimp a Butterfly, but before that, Section 80
Mhm.
being the soundtrack of while I was in college, and it was just very politically charged. That's kind of the big thing for me. A lot of music, especially hip hop, always takes me back to a certain point in life and certain moment. Like those ones I remember where I was and what was going on in the world when I first heard that song. And Kendrick Lamar's Section 80
Mm.
was definitely high power. Was one of the tracks from that. Now that was around, I believe, Obama's second stint. Trayvon Martin, the Trayvon Martin protest and Mike Brown protest and Black Lives Matter was just picking up around that time. It was very charged. I just remember that around that time. So yeah, big shout out to K Dot and the whole PG Lang TDE family.
About that "To Pimp a Butterfly" album, she's saying it was very, very impactful for her generation, but it was impactful for all generations. It's
Yeah,
it's the it's the way that we used to think about like how Michael Jackson's Thriller album just young, old, black, white didn't matter. It brought everybody together, and that's what I felt like "To Pimp a Butterfly" was is for me. It had players on there and collaborations from people from my generation before that, after that, turned
man.
into the anthem of Freedom Summer 2020.
Yeah,
We gonna be all right. The anthem for a generation. I mean, yeah, really, really impactful. And what he's doing has been huge to me. And a lot of others. I mean, we can go on about that. A lot of others. Megan Miller Jenkins says J. Cole, middle child seems to be my son's favorite currently. That's what's up.
okay, okay.
Love it when
Yeah,
young people
Cole.
like J. Cole. That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that an old head thing to do? Is that
To J. Cole. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think the young I don't know how young your son is, um but yeah, I find that younger people not so much into conscious, what I'm saying?
yeah,
As much
yeah. There was a definitely a whole campaign of a four letter word before the word J. Cole going around and some young people not really putting respect on his name and
true.
I think there's a whole divide between him and like the littles, the little
The
yachties and
little littles.
yeah, 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 the littles. That's what we call them, the littles. That's the
Yeah,
generation.
we had the biggies. Y'all had the littles. That's
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Everybody, yeah, really, Big L.
big Notorious
Like the
B.I.G., Big
bigs.
Pun. We had the biggies.
Right, right, right. From the bigs to the
Yeah,
littles.
but one little you just mentioned, Lil Yachty had one of the best albums of the year as far as I'm concerned.
Man,
Yeah,
yeah. Actually, J. Cole and Lil Yachty had a pretty good conversation about that on Lil Yachty's
yep,
podcast.
yep. Whitney Richardson said, "Can't forget about old Kanye." We
Yeah.
can, you can't forget about old Kanye, but I'm trying to forget about new Kanye with his black KKK hood on and at a show and all that he's doing these days.
Now you're not feeling that one?
I got to give it a chance, bro. I'm walking into it with an attitude, so I'm gonna give it a chance because old Kanye. So I'm gonna give it a chance. I'm always give it a chance, but I
Okay.
got to be ready for him, man, with that mess. Pop says, "Man, I love Jeff and the Prince. I felt they were really underrated. They were so musical. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Yeah. I think it's space to actually real space for the DJ MC duo to come back.
Oh yeah, man, it was powerful. It was powerful, man. It was really powerful to see them back together. Of course, we've been following Jazzy Jeff's career as
Man,
a
he still
musician.
got it.
He's a legend in the game, in the DJ game, like
Man,
a legend, living legend,
big time.
and just continued his craft on and on and on. Of course, Will Smith, he went the actor route and did a whole bunch of other stuff. But yeah, man, came back and like they never missed a beat. It was dope. It reminded me of the old school shows too. Like you said, rapper and a DJ, all the dynamics of the show. It was great. It was great.
Yeah.
Tamika Renee in the chat said hip hop saved my life. That's what I wanted to hear right there. She said I knew hip hop before I knew Christ. Wow. True
Mm.
story. Early on, it was LL, Boogie Boys, Run DMC, Eric B. and Rakim. Fast forward to the 90s, it was Jay-Z music that kept me grounded from Reasonable Doubt to the Blueprint, Nas, Biggie,
Mm.
Wu, UGK, Scarface, Keith Murray, Redman, Big L, DMX, Locks. Bro, music and the same. I miss substance. Yeah. That's
Man.
Arrested Development got back together and played this Grammy hip hop. I mean, I'm talking about everybody in Arrested Development finally got back together and did that.
Yeah.
Everybody in Farside came back and did and performed as well. Farside got back together. So yeah, if you get a chance, man, it's on that CBS Paramount channel. It's still on. If you get a chance to check out that 50-year Grammy celebration, I would suggest you do it. It was it was dope, super dope. Wanda Lewis said, "Don't forget about Curtis Blow. Curtis Blow still doing. He was just out here at the Holland doing his
Yeah.
hip hop Nutcracker.
I mean, the legends are still working. Still
Yes,
working.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. I don't be surprised if you see a Dungeon Film project come out soon.
For real, for real, for real." Mama God said, "Why should you give Black KKK a chance to understand?" Confused. Because Kanye, I think he got some other message with this, man. We got to see what's up with it. We got to see what's happening with it.
Yeah. I mean, I looked into it, man. And not, the KKK got it from somewhere. I'm gonna just say that. It wasn't originally always
True
theirs
that.
as far
True
as
that. Yeah, 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 for sure. Yeah, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Like I said before I comment too much on it, I'm definitely gonna take a look and see what's going on with it. But it's all in the headlines, man. Of course, just the image, him in the
Yeah.
headlines is kind of tripping. Pops in the chat says, "I love the Dirty South productions of Master P, Bone Thugs and
Hey,
Harmony, Mia X,
pops about it.
about it. He rowdy. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, South man. I'm a Dungeon Family fan, bro. Outkast, Goodie
Man,
Mob. I mean, Outkast is probably one of my favorite of all time groups. So yeah, they had the God MCs section on this celebration, man. So they had
really?
Black Thought standing next to Rakim. You know what I'm saying? Like it was dope.
Yeah,
Lady of
I
Rage, Afro Puffs jumped out. I mean, bro, you got to watch it.
yeah. It's been a lot of those though all year. It's been a lot of those. I'm also but I did catch one about KRS-One kind of refusing. I know he wasn't
Yeah,
there. He's saying why
he's saying
now?
the hip hop purists. Yeah, he said you Grammys ain't done nothing for us for 49 years. Why on the 50th year they want to?
Yeah,
He
yeah,
called
yeah.
himself a
But
hip hop purist, which I
yeah,
understand. He just there is a big push against like the commercialization of our craft. The bastardization really of it, the way that it's been co-opted and taken and distorted, and
Oh
bunch of
yeah.
people make a bunch of money off of it that weren't in the culture. I mean, there's always that side of things too that you got to remember. But as far as the, it's just yeah, ladies first. That Tamika Renee said, "Ladies first." Queen Latifah, MC Light. So oh, man, when MC Light came out with Cha 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 on the stage,
Mm.
went crazy. There was a lot of went crazy moments that happened on that Grammy celebration. You definitely got to check it out. Moni Love and Queen Latifah back together again.
Okay.
Super dope. Super dope. But yes, so it's a thing, as you can see, man. It's a as you can see, just a little bit of talking about in the chat. People that are really kind of feeling about what hit you with it, what drew you into the culture. What about it? What about the culture really moved you? Because like I say, it doesn't. It's not really apparent with everything that we talk about every day. But hip hop is really kind of the reason why we're doing what we're doing,
Man,
even right now.
the message. The message.
Yep.
Again, and really I'm glad you brought that up, because I was thinking, as far as like, we're talking about the artist and how it made us feel, but just culturally, society wise, the message that birthed hip hop, that birthed this thing, like we all know what it transformed into, but the message that birthed this thing, and the environment that created this thing is kind of back. Lack of programs for the
Right.
youth, violence in the
Right.
community, rampant gun and gang violence in the community, society, institutions breaking down, institutions disappearing from our community. These are the same exact things that, the reason people and children and teens and youth were in the park coming up with this stuff, because they ain't have nothing else to do.
Yeah. And also in the spirit of journalism, the reporting, all that used to be reporting, and was for the same reason why we're doing what we're doing. Mainstream media wasn't reporting what was going on in the hood.
Man,
Rappers were. As a matter of fact, all these podcasts and things that are out here right now, Drink Champs and all the rest of them, are an extension of hip hop. There are a
yeah,
bunch of rappers that, instead of putting it on the track now, is sitting in front of a mic and talking about it like this. This is
still using the same
This
tool.
is literally the same tool in the studio, right?
Yep.
Literally, what we're doing right now is an extension of that. So there you go. Appreciate that very much. Roscoe Wall said, "Don't forget the lady. That's real. That's real." Wanda Lewis says, "Hip hop speaks on real life issues.
Yeah, real hip hop.
Real hip hop does when it's working. That's right. Yep." So yeah, love it, man. I'm glad we were able to just kind of take a little moment to talk about that, because, like I said, when we come back in 2024, it will not be the 50th year of hip hop. I just want to acknowledge that on our last show of the last season of this year. So appreciate everybody letting us go left with that and adding to the conversation. We one of the things that we really want to do at First Sky Omaha is do a First Sky Omaha stage and bring
Man,
some acts out, and celebrate with music and celebrate with art and celebrate with life, and drum up togetherness even through the arts, not just like-minded political ideals and things like that, but also just in life, bringing life together with art, and gathering together with artists, so that we can kind of get on the same page and get back to the fight. So it's very important. Appreciate it very much, and appreciate y'all very much as well. 8:23 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, Pops is saying that is the story of black music since the beginning. That Elvis co-opted the music of Big Mama Thornton, and the songwriter that made him famous, Otis Blackwell, was black, and Elvis sang like him.
mm,
Been co-opted. I mean, that's just something that's always going to happen. I just read a big thing on Spotify last night, and how Spotify is really kind of ruining things in the music business, because of same reason, other people getting rich off of creations and arts that comes from our culture. Other people,
hmm,
it's got to be in the conversation too. But like I said, sometimes you just sit back and be inspired by the art that's made, and we can definitely reflect on that the last 50 years here. Somebody in the chat, I
yeah.
think it was Mayor Sanchez, was talking about being 50. I'm 50 as well, the same age as hip hop, watching the eras, growing up with the eras.
Yeah, he says being 50 along with hip hop, it was a mission to listen to it. It was all new. Now it's being fed to you. Yeah, I mean the bad stuff, again, the good stuff is still out there if you're willing to just still keep with that same spirit of digging, man. Yeah, it's still out there. Shout out to Joey Badass, shout out to Mick Jenkins. Shout out to, if you haven't heard of these artists, check them out. Real lyricists talking about some stuff.
Yep, that's real. Appreciate you very much. 8:24 right now. Let's take a quick break and come back and let's jump into a couple more stories before we get to the haps. Get your haps ready. I guess we're gonna be talking about haps that's happening this weekend, and also what's gonna be happening over the break. So
Yeah,
you
man.
guys going out of town? You guys got family coming into town? What are you guys doing for your break, your holiday season? Let us know where somebody was asking me where the Kwanzaa celebration is going to be at. I haven't heard about that yet. So yeah, let's talk about let's get the haps together and talk about what's going to be happening here. Not just over the weekend, but over the break until we come back January 15th. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Once again, you're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the
All
morning.
Beeee, Buddi3 Da Gawd, all of you Chad Chimers,
Hey.
ghost listeners, radio listeners, we found you. Welcome back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha Radio. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All Beeee with the frog in his throat. Buddi3 Da Gawd. All of you, Chad Chimers, ghost.
Me.
I don't know what happened, man. I had a little Casamigos last night, but
That's what happened.
well, I'm saying I feel like I got cotton mouth, but I mean, how does that come from drinking a little Casamigos? I don't get it.
Hey.
Yeah, man. Kimber Snipe says Leo Lewis and Shamari are putting together some events for Kwanzaa. Okay. Check in with the Malcolm X Memorial Foundation. See what's happening over there.
Yeah. They usually do have some events going down there. So yeah, check them out. Also check out the bookstore if you need your candle holders and your candles and your decorations.
Not just books over there. That's right.
Yeah. All kind of cultural trinkets.
Yeah. Wanda Lewis says I can participate in some old school hip hop. Your girl used to blow back in the day. Okay.
It makes sense when you surrender. Apple didn't fall far from the tree, I guess.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Music in the families. That's for real. Appreciate everybody jumping on that for sure. Feels good to share not just what the problems are and what's going on that we're trying to put boots to the roots to fix, but also what inspires us, man. We want to bond and get together on that level as well. So appreciate that very much. You guys are expressing those things. Yeah. Between time, buddy, what's next on the agenda?
Man, quite honestly, we got like 3 more stories that we pulled.
Okay.
2 of them I really don't even want to really talk about. Like I'm kind of more interested in what we've just been talking about, man. Like we don't really get into that a lot more often. But just want to throw it to the chat, man. It's about just about 30 minutes left in this here episode, last 30 minutes of the season. Yeah. We can kind of loosen our tie a little bit. Y'all let us know how y'all feel, what's on y'all world, what's going on with y'all. What are y'all paying attention to? What are you excited about? This upcoming season or this upcoming break, this holiday season. What are you doing for the holiday? Let us know. Yeah, I mean, do y'all care about the Oakview Mall being sold? Do we?
It was just a mention anyway. Just somebody about the Oakview Mall.
Yeah.
So there you go. Now we told.
Yeah. Do you care? I mean, we can look into what's going on with Facebook, Google buying up, hundreds of acres for their data centers. But I mean, I think we can all agree is as long as they hiring people from our community, it don't really matter.
Yeah, I mean they're not putting those centers in our community. So yeah. No, I appreciate where you're going with that. I definitely, you know me. You ain't got to twist my arm to jump out of some stories for a minute to talk about some music and art. Yeah, that's real. Rome's review says, "Love, new hip hop." Back then, someone got a new song. They was it on. Oh, I'm losing it. Where'd it go? There it is. On the blocks until something new. Trying to make tapes. It was labor. I feel that sentiment, man. The way that music is spoon fed to us now, especially with Spotify, where you have access to everything.
The playlist.
Yeah. There's a difference. We even use that theory here, Mayor Sanchez, about the reason why we've done what we've done with this show and organically grew an audience. And it's an audience you guys have sought us out. It's a difference of getting hit over the head and spoon fed something every time you turn something on and hear it, or you hear about something that you want to be a part of and be inspired by and have to go seek it out and go find it yourself. And I think it's a big difference. It's a big difference
Yeah,
between
man.
that. I'm old enough to back in the day be standing around the corner at the record store waiting on the drop, 8 in the morning, because they got those records in the night before, and standing in line to pick them up. And people don't got to do that with music these days. So it's a different kind of consumption going on, which I think
Yeah.
is interesting.
As Rose of you said, it was labor, a labor of love. There's some intentionality put behind it when you do it, do it that way, rather than like you said, just kind of being mindlessly, robotically spoon fed something. It's very passive.
Right.
It's very passive that way.
I read a whole thing on Spotify last night about how Spotify is changing that whole thing. People are putting out albums now with 35 songs on them, all
Mhm.
2.5, 3 minutes long, because that's how the algorithm and stuff works for Spotify. So they're even changing how they do that. Before, they would take years to develop an album, put blood, sweat, and tears in that. It'd be 7, 8 songs long because of the format that it was coming on, and albums were shaped that way. So Spotify is even changing the way that albums are shaped these days. Now all these new artists are coming out with 35, 40 songs, 2 minutes
Mhm.
long, because they can get more plays from singles than they can doing a coherent, complete album. There's still a lot of old heads and a lot of other folks out there doing complete albums, but it's changing the way that a lot of new music and stuff is hitting us. So pretty interesting stuff to even just consider. How do you get your music these days? We ask you how to get your news. How do you get your music these days? I know a lot of people that watch it on YouTube all day long, just let music play there. I know a lot
Yeah.
of people on Spotify, Apple Music, for sure, putting playlists together and stuff like that. Anybody rock old school CDs, LPs? Have you dug into your music collection? I was looking at my iTunes the other day, like, man, I haven't played a lot of these songs in it, but I have played them. I just played them on Apple Music, on the streaming
Mm.
platforms. So, do you collect music anymore? A lot of good questions on that. Kimber Snipes says, when I was 14 and this boy from church made up a gospel rap and used the I got five on it Loonies beat. Yeah, man. I remember I had a couple people do that too. Some church guys doing I got five on it beat with some church rap on it. That's pretty funny. Rose Review says, shout out to the whole brand. Grateful for all you and it. Man, I appreciate you guys, man. Appreciate you saying that too, man. Appreciate
Man,
you very
thank you.
much. Wanda Lewis says, we care more about our community being sold. Yeah, I hear that. Winnie Richardson,
Right.
she said, always the church kids. Yeah, appreciate your comments, man. This is great. Stuart Brother Knight said, if you have cotton mouth in the morning, get your sugar tested and drink some water, lots of water.
Yeah, man.
Bro, that's why I'm taking so many breaks on this show. I done drink almost a whole gallon of water already. I'm still
Ha ha! Ha
still tripping, bro.
ha!
I'm still feeling like, man, what happened? I don't think it was the tequila. I think it was the burrito I had after the tequila. I don't know what it was.
Hmm.
Yeah, I woke up just like, what is going on? Whew. Maggie Miller Jenkins says, I still listen to the radio. Interesting. A
Yeah,
lot
I
of radio
mean,
listeners out there.
it's still a thing. It's still a thing, especially a lot of people who have older cars that don't have the Bluetooth in it. Yeah, I'm actually, even with all the Bluetooth devices and things like that, I'm personally still a big radio
Yeah.
listener. Especially down here, man. There's a lot of good radio stations in this market.
Yeah.
But that was a part of the reason why I was so adamant about creating, being a part of I was actually a part of both 95.7 and 101.3.
Right.
When 95.7 used to be in the crossroads. Shout out to Bill King, shout out to DJ Mr. Soul.
Mhm.
I was kind of early with that as well.
Yeah, man.
And then of course what we did with Mine and Soul, trying to bring that to good, good local programming to the community, because it's needed.
Yeah,
It's
we still
needed.
rock. Of course, we rock our digital channel. If you go to First Sky Omaha, hit the listen button, firstsky.omaha.com, and then hit the listen button. There's a digital channel playing there. That's still rocking some good stuff on that as well. I like how Rome's reviews is saying we would play one song 100 times on repeat. It was all we had, but I don't think that was why we were doing it. Just because it was all we had. It was because we were into it that hard.
Man,
Pop,
breaking it
Pop
down.
says yes. I remember as a teenager riding my bike 3 miles to a store, checking every day for the first Jackson 5 album. I'm
Man,
saying, man, you come from the culture of seeking something out. How much more are you influenced by something you had to go work for, seek out, than you are getting just turned on the radio or whatever, getting spoon fed or whatever. We get
yeah.
spoon
I
fed from
mean,
commercials on TV, from music and movies, all kinds of stuff all the time like that. How much more so are you into the artist that you had to go find than you are just hearing stuff all day, every day? But radio, I feel radio is still important, and it really does matter what city you live in, whether or not you were listening to the radio. I listen to the radio here too, but I listen to NPR now most of the time, like or 95.7 The Boss. Not really into any other stations out here as well. So, I
mm-hmm.
miss LA. Pops. They brought K Day back in LA. We got old school, new school. We got all kinds of stuff in different cities. So that's what's up.
Yeah, it definitely depends on the market you in.
Yeah, most def, man. Roseview says Stilo at the Admiral. He's out of town though. We'll miss that one. But yeah, Stilo gonna be at the Admiral. That's tomorrow. As a matter of fact,
It's at the
the
reader.
reader event. Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Admiral, which is the old Sokol Auditorium. For those of you who don't know,
Mama call him Soko. I'm gonna call him Soko.
right, exactly. But the new joint's called the Admiral. It's actually owned by the guys who own Waiting Room, Reverb. They're the ones who
Oh, 1%
1%
guys.
guys. They're the ones that put the Admiral together there, got the Sokol Auditorium. But it's fitting to have this final party for the reader at the old Sokol Auditorium because John Heaston, founder of the Reader, was the person who was responsible for getting the Sokol Auditorium open back in the day.
Yeah, man.
So, yeah, final party, El Perico and the Reader throwing a party to celebrate the Reader, El Perico, and roast those responsible for them. Music lineup, Stilo in the house. Hector Anchondo, who's won all kinds of blues artists around awards all around the country. Killer guitar player, killer blues guy for real. Gets down.
Man.
Don't know too much about Noise Waver Man Down, but I'm anxious to see who they are. Check out some new music for myself. Definitely gonna see you there tomorrow if I don't lose my voice. Door is open at 6 o'clock, so come on through. There's this donation. There's no cover there, so yeah, it'll be a good time, man. Just to kind of jump in there. I'm sure I'll run into Chris Baby Boy Bowling, everybody who's over at
Baby
the Reader.
boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah,
So
yeah. And hopefully, John's feeling well enough to make an appearance.
yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. I've never seen Stilo live either, so it's gonna be interesting to check out. It'll be a good show. Good
Yeah.
show. Appreciate everybody that's jumped in. Maggie Miller Jenkins says I have to jump off, but I want to say thank you for giving us something to look forward to in the morning. What you've created is inspirational, and look forward to watching this evolve as it grows into the new year on new journeys. Boots to the Roots has been one of my many blessings this year. Much love. Appreciate you very much for that.
Man.
Appreciate you.
Profound. Thank
Brother
you.
Knight, I'm glad you
Thank
put that in that chat too. I was looking on the side here trying to find out what that channel was, but he said DJ Soul's radio app, 87.9 The Culture. I was looking for that. Thank you very much. Yeah,
And he says also says sorry for the unpaid promo. That's I appreciate that. Appreciate that. But it's all good. It's all good. Definitely shout out to DJ Soul, Mr. Soul. And we say it all the time, man. First of all, if you listen to each of the different entities, we all have a lane. We all have a lane. We're all doing different things in different ways. But doing some of the same thing. But as far as black media in Omaha, we're out there. It's just we got to be made aware of each other and support each other. So we can have 100, as Paul always says, we can have 100 entities as far as media goes and still not have enough. So yeah, definitely, it's all good. Definitely shout out to DJ Mr. Soul, the whole team over there. Man, Bill King 95.7. Shout out, even 101.3 is still doing some things. I don't know who's behind it, but if you turn to the station, it's still music playing. So sometimes, yeah.
It's not on right now, but sometimes.
Yeah, that
And
part.
then
But
we know it's
so yeah,
95.7
shout
The
out.
Boss. We know who's.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say all that, but you tune in, you'll
If they
figure
tune
it
in, they
out.
go hear it. Right.
The Rib Shack.
Brought to you by 95.7 The Boss on 101.3
I'm like,
FM.
hold up.
That's what's up.
Hold up.
Shout out to the Rib Shack too, man. When I first heard that, I used to laugh at that commercial so hard, but now it's stuck in my brain. The Rib Shack, and
Hey,
it playing
hey,
so much that I had to go out there. I was like, I think I'm by the Rib Shack. I'm about to stop by the Rib Shack. And
man, if anybody's ever in Atlanta, you know how the jingle game goes. The jingle game is
yeah,
serious.
man, it's very serious. What a cool thing. And the food is great. It's family owned. Love them cats over at the Rib Shack. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Speaking of that, also Jim's is on the track to opening back
That's
up.
what's up.
Get ready to get your saucy fried game on.
Hey. Love it. Tamika Johnson in the chat says, "My homegirl from Denver is coming to visit. I can't wait. It's gonna be like the good old days without the St. Ides."
Okay.
Yeah.
Good times, good times. Letting us know your holiday season
Yep,
plans.
yep. Pop says back in the day, you had to do you had to do records that were minimum and maximum 3-minute songs, or the industry would penalize you. No radio play, and I believe even less money royalty wise. So no 2-minute songs. That was
Man,
the
now it's quite the opposite.
Yeah, that was, and I also remember there was a limit that you wouldn't get your stuff on the radio if it was a 4 or 5-minute song, or 5,
Mm,
once long play records got invented and they started putting stuff on there, people like the Beatles started experimenting with longer songs and doing all kinds of stuff back in the day. Then the industry really tightened again, like, nah, it's gotta be like 3.5 minutes for it
man, I
to be
mean,
radio.
being in the position of a music programmer and having to program some of that stuff, I could definitely like 5 minute songs. You killing me on time, Smalls. You killing me.
I mean, it depends on the song, man. Some
Yeah,
whip right through on 5 minutes, some drag
yeah,
out, you
yeah.
know? But still, they
Um,
said, the stuff that's on Spotify now, there's no intros, no outros. You
no,
jump right
man,
to the
no.
hook. There's no, you know what I'm saying? There's no solos. They
Yeah,
didn't took solos, musical solos out of songs.
bridges,
Bridges, no bridges no more. It literally be 2 minutes, man. It literally be like the hook, a verse, they out.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, especially rap songs. Yeah,
Yep. Miss Wanda
but
Lewis. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's just a product of the streaming
That's
thing.
what I'm saying.
Because people don't buy it, you get your money from streaming, so
Right.
you make it short, so people have to keep replaying it. Like, oh, that wasn't long enough.
Right.
Let me replay it again.
Spotify.
So, yep.
Wanda Lewis says, "I stopped listening to love music when I got older. When I was young, I believed in the fantasy of it, just like the white picket fence with the rich husband, children, and the dog. Now put it in the category with Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny. That is the dopest, like, old
Dang,
school phrase, comment ever right there, because that is it is exactly. I know exactly what you mean by that. Exactly, it is in that same category. It is like fantasy novel. There is like music out there that's like fantasy novel type of stuff.
a little
Yeah,
bit, a little bit,
yeah.
a little
Whenever you
bit.
hearing anybody say they're gonna love you forever, and we gonna be together all night, and all these very fantastic. I'm thinking about like the deal talking about I'll do everything. I'll pay your rent, even whatever, all
Mm.
the things, man. All this like
Yeah,
fantasy
man,
music, bro. It's fantasy. It's not speaking to like real relationships all the time.
there's been a couple of tracks like, yeah, this fool tripping. This fool is tripping.
Babyface, he's the king of that. As soon as I get home from work, I'm gonna do everything, bro. Calm down, babyface, calm down.
Take it easy. Okay, take it easy.
It's 8:43 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, appreciate it. Marlon Harrison in the chat says, "I listen to Sirius XM radio. Thank you for
Okay.
representing the digital radio side." Said Fly, which plays 90s and 2000s hip hop and R&B, is really good. They not only play the popular songs but also deep cuts. Like it. Very
Yeah, yeah,
curated
yeah.
radio stations there in the digital realm. It's good. It's good.
It is though. There needs to be a balance though. Needs to be a balance. What I'm learning and really, really, through just experience, man, local radio it needs to be around, man. Like
Yeah.
it really is. Really seeing because local radio is definitely alive and well down here in Atlanta, and I'm kind of seeing it firsthand the impact it can have on like having DJs out in the streets, having a platform for local artists to be able to amplify their voices and things like that.
Mhm.
You still need your local radio stations, man. So again, shout out to 95.7. Definitely shout out to the Sirius XMs,
Mhm.
giving the legends a platform. That's what I really love to see, like the Roxanne Shantays get
Mhm.
having shows and things like that nowadays. I definitely love seeing that, but kind of need both.
Yeah, like I said, it's never enough. You always need all different kinds of art. It's the
Right,
thing. So that's what's up. Rose Review
right.
says,
I do.
"Go ahead."
go back to Mama Guy's
I was
comment
getting
kind
to
of
the
further.
same thing. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She says, I like music, but it's so weird how much my ex and current husband, son, and grandchildren love and internalize music so much in their lives. And I got to put it back on you, Mama God. That's a big part of you. Like riding around with you, running errands, listening to music, and you putting on music while you clean and stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So
this is your
it's
fault.
also the age group. It's also the period of time in development of a human. There's gonna be times when you really are drawn to music. Music is speaking for you. You're it's almost like a discovery of it at very very interesting times. And then I have been in that. You know, I'm old enough now to have to put some of it on the back burner a little bit. It doesn't define me like it used to. Like
Mm-hmm.
it used to
Mm-hmm.
define my whole being back in the day.
Man.
We I created a whole people in the seventh language and ain't nothing but lines from movies and music. You know what I'm saying? Like it would define my whole existence. So once you start gaining more knowledge of self and figuring coming into yourself and figuring out how you are, you've taken pieces from here and there and then built that up. And then now those
Mm-hmm.
tools that you use to define yourself, you kind of push away a little bit. So I can understand like it being so, like she's saying, is so much of the so much internalized. They love and internalize music. I remember internalizing music that way too
Yeah.
at a certain point in life. You know, so interesting, definitely interesting relationship we have to it all, and I feel pretty cool that we grew up in this era of hip hop and this whole situation. Beautiful thing. Tamika Renee said North Omaha Community Partnership is hosting a second annual Winter Wonderland toy and coat giveaway event at North High School 3 to 6. Registration is closed, but we will need volunteers to distribute toys, coats, and serve food to 100 families. Right on. Community resource vendors tables also are also available for no charge. Please call 531-772-5810 for more info. That's what's up. Is that
Okay.
3 to 6 today? Is that happening today? North Carolina Partnership is hosting the second annual Winter Wonderland toy and coat giveaway.
When is that? What day
Yeah,
is
what
that?
day is that? 3 to 6 p.m. That's what's up. Pop says, man, back in the day, we left the radio station all day on all day. It was our only musical outlet. Yeah, interesting. Tamika Johnson said, I loved when a great song would be released and the anticipation of the remix. Yeah, I missed that.
Man,
I missed
definitely.
the
I
12-inch
mean,
remix for real.
yeah, let's be honest, man. Like this social media or this streaming is only about 10, 15 years old. I'm pretty sure we all remember at some point in time.
That's
Radio was it.
true. True that. Yeah. And I think it's also another one of those like discoverable things that happens at certain points in your life as well. You discover there's a radio station out there that's really speaking to you, and radio stations are building a culture around their station, and you can
Mm-hmm.
feel a part of that when you get down. You know,
Yeah. Also, thank you, Sister Tamika, on that. She says that the coat and toy giveaway is Sunday from 3 to 6 at Omaha North High. Shout out to all my Vikings out there. So,
check out the Facebook page North Omaha Community Partnership. Get some information, and you can also call 531-772-5810 for more info.
yeah, man.
I'm glad somebody's doing it, man. I was thinking about like what can we do to do some coat giveaways around this time of year because I can't imagine being outside with no coat. It's as cold as it gets.
Yeah, yeah, definitely think about our houseless, brothers and sisters out there. There's some children dealing with houselessness. So yeah, definitely, if you know anybody struggling with those things, direct them in that way. Of course, the littles, if you're struggling, for Christmas, if that's something you observe or, wanna, celebrate with your family, toy giveaway.
And stuff. Before we get on to the next subject, I just want to mention that when we're talking about music and record stores and all those things, my family had A&A Records back in the day, and I was told a couple record stores in town, as a matter of fact, right next to the Carver Bank. You remember where Big Mama Sandwich Shop was? That was
Yeah.
A&A Music at one point, and back in the day. So I heard they had booths that you would go in, put the headphones on, test the record, listen to the record that you're about to buy, and there was really kind of one of the only record stores around that was doing stuff like that. But I just remember thinking about I didn't experience this 'cause I wasn't around yet, but I'm just thinking about like how crazy that is. Excuse me, to build a culture around a record store that way, and I think it's super dope, man. I go into Homer's over there with Mark Manner's spot over there,
Yeah,
and
man.
same thing, man. You can pull some stuff out, throw it on a record player and check some stuff out, or just talk to the cats there about some music. It's still a culture around a record store, still a culture. So
Yeah. Yeah, shout out to man Mark Manner. Shout out to my man Marcy Yates, who actually taught me how to produce. In the first place he took me was the record store.
If you wanted to buy a Sam Cooke album, where would you go?
Yeah, man. Taught me how to
That's
sample.
what's
Taught
up,
me how to
man. Shout out to
sample.
Marcy
So
Yates, who has a record store at Culture House. There's records at Culture
yeah,
House
yeah,
in
yeah,
person.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Got some cuts.
It's 8:49 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, I'm sorry I keep on keeping my eye on it because we're in that mood right now at the end of the season, the last show of the season, and like Buddy said, like loosening up the tie, and that means that we start talking about some things. Conversations can go way out of we
Yeah,
could go
yeah.
3 hours on talking about music and stuff. So just wanted to keep track of that and make sure that we are sticking to our agreement and as close as we can at the very least. But I wanted to throw it to you, buddy. I wanted to ask you about the things that you're excited about, the things you want to reflect on as far as the years, as far as the last season is concerned. What's coming up for next season that you're excited about, and what's the call to action for the fam here,
Man, kind of put me on the spot.
man?
Yeah, man. I'm excited about
I can
just
start. I can start. I didn't
one.
mean to put you on the spot.
Well, yeah, go. I mean, yeah, go
Yeah, go
ahead,
ahead.
go
All
ahead.
right.
Because I'm excited about a lot of things, but
Yeah.
let me try to wrap my mind around it all to articulate.
Okay, well, I'll start. Very excited about the things that I learned this last season, man. We learned so much from the senators coming on.
Yes.
We've had some serious highlight moments. I feel like Willie Barney finally come on. We had some real hard questions for him. We were able to make some connection there. The stuff that the further partnership with the BAA this season has been great, culminating into their 4-year anniversary party with Dr. Umar coming and speaking. I feel really closer to that fam, the whole fam there, with Untamed and BAA, and just trying to make some connections in town. I feel like we had some pretty legendary stuff, and of course, we had Dr. Cornel West, presidential candidate Dr. Cornel West, on the show and talked to him
Yeah, man.
about things. It was definitely more of a I felt like it was our language that was being spoken with him and with most people on the shows throughout this season. We'll continue to try to. I'm looking forward to also bringing on some folks that we got to ask some hard questions with, and try to really get them on the show as well.
Hmm.
I feel like we got a lot of ammo this year for what it is that we're thinking and feeling and believing this last season, and ready to kind of really confront some folks that we feel like are not stepping up to the plate in the way they need to be. And I also love the fact that we're getting held accountable to step up to the plate ourselves on stuff that we're doing, and taking we're taking the responsibility of the fact that we need to be having these conversations and the fact that we need to be disseminating this news. When Dr. Cornel West came to town, and I realized a lot of people, even in the black community, did not know he was in town. He was coming to town. I was very shocked, and then I kind of started scouring social media, started scouring mainstream media. It was not a story in my
Nope.
mind. If I had a
Nowhere.
newspaper, if I had Omaha World Herald, presidential candidate Dr. Cornel West would have been on the front page of the paper. That's how I think about like what we're doing here with this show is creating our own front pages, and we did that in a big way last year, and just really looking forward to doing it next year, and the next in the seventh season, and just creating like being on the tip of creating some new things, more interesting things, growing the audience is something that I'm really excited about doing next year. The launch of the new site, the launch of the new video channel we're doing. I'm looking forward to really refining the digital channel, the digital radio channel, and getting more people to come over and listen to that. A lot of cars or new cars are being made with the ability to have internet radio in them as well.
Hmm.
So there's a lot to it. We're working on an app you can just kind of tap on your phone and check in with the radio station, check in with the videos as well. So yeah, there's just a lot, man. It's kind of really onwards and upwards there. We
Yeah,
definitely
man.
have to move into the realm of kind of getting our hustle on a little bit so that we can kind of make some money to really fund continuing this and growing this. And it's all that kind of attitude that the BAA has about doing for ourselves, man. Like it's got to be for us, by us. It's got to be FUBU all day long. So I'm
Man.
really looking forward to that mindset of that hustle. I'm making some big changes personally next year in order to be able to spend more time to do that. So those are the things, I got a sense of like, excitement, a little nervous excitement going on about it. But I also am very, very excited about like moving First Sky Omaha to the next level and really growing things next year, next season, making it more accessible to people and just capitalizing, building on the things that we've been doing in the family that we built here. So my call to action for the chat chimers would just be, keep telling a friend, keep engaging, keep getting down with Boost to the Roots, support if you can. Well, like I said, we're working on things that'll make it so that you can get even more information. Not just Monday, Wednesday, Friday in the morning, but all throughout the day, all throughout the week. I'm excited to work on haps more. Really kind of coordinate
Yeah.
some haps next year, and really push out there what's going on. Build a calendar out so everybody can be on the same page about where to go, what to do. Those are some of the things that are on top of my mind on that. So yeah,
Okay. Okay. Yeah, a lot of the same here. A lot of the same here. The biggest thing for me is excited, I guess, as I look forward, excited about the impact that I feel like we can have just as not just as First Sky Omaha, but as a community. And the role that we could possibly play in that. Like I definitely think that, the ability to really cause some like create some change and really have an impact for the better is right at our fingertips. We're figuring out a path to do that, and taking the solutions journalism approach on this platform, really finding those solutions and figuring out what's working, what's not, what needs to be done, and now having the partners and having the ammo to go out and do that. So definitely looking forward to continuing those conversations and continuing to align with some individuals who we've been speaking to outside of this show, to help us do that. And we're looking forward to being able to help them do that. Big shout out to Sister Tamika Renee, right in the chat. She says the press release was not done for Dr. West's visit. Let's utilize all of our resources for exposure. So yeah, definitely looking forward to doing just that as far as utilizing all of our resources for exposure and coming together and really building that kind of conglomerate, if you will. So and that's definitely one of the big things I'm excited about as far as First Sky Omaha. Definitely excited about some of the changes you mentioned. Bringing in some new tech, doing some new productions. Again, working on that documentary. I'm excited to see how that comes together and kind of get you all's response to that and just share something like that with you. There's a few other things that we've been talking about. There's some merch that we're working on. Excited to share some of that with you, and along with all of that will come a new website. Excited to share that all with you. So looking forward to that, and then also looking back, just really kind of appreciating the support that we received thus far from the community, or appreciating the some of the guests that we've been able to engage with and speak to, and looking forward to having a lot of that, more of that, kind of along the lines with Pops the same, man. He says in the chat, yes, this has been one of the most dynamic seasons so far. It has been incredible. Yet something tells me that this is only the beginning for First Sky. I mean, like, I'm appreciative of the audience that we've been able to build, and the community that we've been able to build. And now we can go out until, events like Dr. Umar, like Dr. West, go out to Omaha days and just go out in the city and see y'all, and really live alive with y'all, and kind of, chill with y'all, and like be family, like I've always felt like Omaha was my home, but it's to another level. It's to another level here. The responsibility and the connection that I feel to the community, man, and all of y'all are a part of that. This platform is a part of that, and I'm looking forward to that only growing. So really excited about that. Excited about seeing all the ideas that Paul and I, we talk about all the time coming to fruition. And yeah, the kind of the call to action for all of you is, you know, tell a friend to tell a friend, like Paul said. And hopefully we'll continue to receive your support and to get active. We were definitely putting together some ways and other ways to direct energy, to direct funds, to really bring the community back together, closer, and hopefully that you all will continue to be, be a part of that and to engage and support that, as we hope to find ways to support you as well. So
there you go.
yeah, man.
You know what that is?
What's that?
Message.
Hey. Yeah, man, teamwork making the dream work.
Yeah, appreciate it very much. We are going to jump into a little bit of. I'm going to jump into the chat in a second here, but I definitely want to jump into a little bit of haps, just so we can talk about But what's happening for a little
What's
minute?
happening?
A couple little things that's going on coming up real quick. So, first of all, want to give Tim Clark a shout out. Tim Clark has been putting some things together here. He's got something going on at the Benson Theater on the 22nd and 23rd, Night of Christmas Classics. Tim Clark and Friends holiday benefit concert. Got some heavy hitters, singers in here, getting ready to put it down. Yeah, I don't know if you guys know who these people are, but I certainly do. Millicent Crawford, Ty Hakeem, Haley Bice, Anjali Mitchell. Ooh-wee.
Man.
Yeah, you talking about some voices, and don't sleep on Tim Clark. He got that Lou Rawls swag in his voice. Yeah,
Okay,
he be getting
okay.
down with it, man. So check him out. You can go to bensontheater.org, get some tickets, and benefit concert that Tim Clark is putting on. He always puts on a really good show and has a really good audience that he taps to come to these things. So come on through bensontheater.org. Tickets on sale now. Check that out for sure, for sure. Of course, we're going to be at the Admiral tomorrow, which is the old Sokol Auditorium. Mama call him Sokol. I'm gonna call him Sokol. Sokol
Man.
Auditorium is going down 6 o'clock tomorrow. The celebration for the reader in El Perico, chance to hang with the crew there and all that, and then see some good music, man. Stilo in the house, Hector Anchondo. So we'll check out some of the musical lineup and just kind of hang out and think about the impact that the reader had over all the years and kind of the hole that it left when it shut down, man, and what's going
Man.
on to fill those voids. Hopefully, we'll be a part of that in the continuation of what we're doing. So, shout out to John
Definitely.
Heaston's end of an era, and we're going to celebrate with him tomorrow for sure, man. So let's get down over there for that. Really appreciate everybody doing that. And then of course there's the holiday lights going on at Benson Theater. Can't miss that. This is happening tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday are the last three shows for this. So check it out, bensontheater.org. Collaboration between Bridget St. Bridget and Benson Theater. So shout out to those teams for putting those things together. Appreciate it very much.
Yeah, man.
And of course, before we get out of here, we cannot fail to mention that we're going to continue to look for Mr. Levi Blake until he's found. So please, if you have any information, you can hashtag Where is Mr. Blake. Contact 402-444-4123 with any information. He's been missing since August 17th, and he's
Man.
80 years old. Been suffering from some dementia. So we're still out here trying to look for our elders. So please keep your eyes out and stay there too. You can always put information that if you have any on Friends of First Sky Omaha, or like you said, just put it on your page and hashtag Where is Mr. Blake, so that they can gather that information and anything we can put you in touch with Brother Wells, who's heading these things up. If you don't already have his information to share any of your information that you have on this, so please do that. Also, we're still looking for the sister, Nina Elizabeth Harlan, who's was last seen on November 13th. Again, we're getting into the cold months, man. The S word is about to
Man.
happen tomorrow morning. So, we're hoping that it's not a situation where they're not sheltered wherever they are, but we're still looking. Keep your eyes out. You can call Omaha Police Department with this one if you have any information there. 402-444-4600. 33 years old, sister from Native American sister, man, 5'2". She was wearing undergarments when she was last seen, which is
Mm.
yeah, it's rough. But last seen November 13th. Please keep your eyes out there as well. And yeah, definitely want to continue that. Over the break, we will continue to put these notices and things up and continue some of the conversation even on Friends of First Sky Omaha. So
Yeah.
even join that group, then go ahead and join that group, and we'll do a little bit of talking. We'll continue the conversation there for sure. So that's what's up. Also, while we're talking about what's going on with the prison situation, that we still need to try to free Ernest Jackson,
Man.
because it is it's
December 15th.
December 15th, and he's still not free. Exactly. Here's how to advocate. You can contact the governor. Call him directly, 402-471-2244.
Hello,
Hey,
Governor.
Governor Ellen Pillin. What's going on, Porky Pillin? I need to
Man.
holler at you for a minute. Let me holler at you real quick. Holla, holla.
Holla,
Holla, holla,
holla,
holla.
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 Holla, 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 holla,
Say,
holla.
call your Nebraska senator. Of course, you can do that. You can always reach out to Senator Terrell McKinney and Senator Justin Wayne, who have repeatedly said that you can reach out to them anytime. So
Man.
definitely hit them, and then hit that hashtag free Ernest Jackson as well. If you got any information there, you can do that. And there's some information there if you hit the QR code and do that as well. But yeah, let's advocate and still try to push. We can't give up the fight. Like Ed Poindexter's family said, we're not giving the fight up. So
Man. Big time,
big time.
big time. Shout out to Tamika reminding us about the North Omaha Community Partnership on
Yes,
Sunday.
sir.
Is going down again. Their second annual Winter Wonderland toy and coat giveaway is going down in North Omaha, North High, from 3 to 6 on Sunday. Again, registration is closed, but she says we still need volunteers to distribute toys, coats, and serve food to 100 plus families. Community resource vendor tables are also available. So if you are a community organization and feel like you have some resources that families need to know about, there's opportunity to have a vendor table at this for no charge. So definitely take advantage. Again, you can call 531-772-5810. Again, that's 531-772-5810 for more information. So
There you go. Appreciate you very
yeah,
much.
for those of you who are on Facebook or YouTube, again, check that out.
Right on, right on. Appreciate it very much. Pop says, yes, this has been the most dynamic season so far. It has been incredible. Yet something tells me that this is only the beginning for First Guy. Yeah, you just read that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm feeling that, Pops. Definitely feeling that. And you're absolutely right. It is just the beginning. Whitney Richardson says, brothers, you guys should be so proud of your consistency, your commitment to producing this show 3 days a week, and the thriving community that you've created as a result. It's only up from here. Appreciate you very much.
Man, thank you.
Man, look forward to stay tuned. We are bringing, Women's Wednesday back pretty much. Whitney Richardson is going to
Yeah.
be on the show next season. I'm looking forward to that. Talk to Brianna Full, Brianna Full, who's on the school board right now, and she will be on regularly as well coming up in season 7. So yeah, very exciting things, and I do believe the Senators are going to continue on with us during the season as well. So really appreciate everybody that's doing that, and we got some other things that we'll kind of keep under wraps until we lock it down, happening for season 7 as well. And season 7 is going to be wild. It's going to be definitely experimental, creative type of situation that we will have.
Good way to put it. Good way to put
Yeah,
it.
we're gonna be we're not gonna be sitting here every time. We might be out of town. We might be doing it remotely. It's going down. So that's what's up. Quenisha said, "Enjoy your Christmas and vacation. Appreciate you." Tamika said, "Y'all the best. Green Eyes gonna miss you." Oh, Green Eyes gonna miss you. I heard that in a minute. Pop says, Paul and Buddy, have a great few weeks off. You deserve it. Love to you and the whole First Sky fam. See you in January 2024. Appreciate that very much. Looks like Buddy's taking care of a little business, so we'll wait till he gets back. But just want to keep on in the chat real quick. Wanda Lewis said, "Great show. We'll see you back next year. Happy holidays to all. Appreciate that. You all will be missed. I appreciate that. It's nice to know that we're you guys are excited to continue with us. And like I said, we ain't going nowhere. We got videos and stuff to drop where we got to drop them in order to continue some of those things. Some of those really important interviews and conversations we had over the last season will be cutting up and dropping into Friends of First Sky Omaha, or actually the First Sky Omaha page on Facebook. And more importantly, on YouTube. We're going to be dropping a lot of new stuff on YouTube, rearranging the YouTube page and all that. So please go over to YouTube, like and subscribe there. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, we're not stopping First Guy Omaha. We're just taking a break from the morning show. Again, y'all gonna be seeing some stuff, man. We got some merch again. We might be dropping over the holiday season. So a lot of things to look out for. Like Paul said, some more conversations to be had. So yeah, we'll be around. We'll be around.
Let's go ahead and get out of here, buddy. You got some words for the people?
Yeah, man. I think we said it, multiple times, but I'll say it here again, man. We love and appreciate y'all really from the bottom of our hearts, just as much as respect and love that we receive from y'all. Definitely know that the feeling is mutual. It wouldn't be the same without y'all. So we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We thank y'all. Definitely continue to tell a friend, bring your folks on through, man. We won't bite. It's a good time. It's a good time, and it's only, as you all said, going to go up from here. We're expanding. This is really, as Paul and I, decided when we first started this thing, as this was only supposed to be a commercial. This was only supposed to be, kind of a preview to all the things that we hope to create and do, and with your support and with some of the things that are working for us behind the scenes and really not working for us, still inspiring us to keep moving and to keep doing this thing, man. So we appreciate you. We love you. And catch the same time, same place when we come back for season 7.
Yep. We're going to work on some pre-recorded things, Pop, so we don't mess up your circadian rhythm Appreciate you getting up at 4 o'clock every morning to watch the show.
Man.
We'll try to get something scheduled on there, some pre-recorded stuff, where you can get up and check it out and keep that. Buddy said that we don't bite, but I'm gonna be biting when Wanda Lewis brings the holiday plate over here. That's what's up. Wanda Lewis knows how to get to me.
Oh man, thank you,
Yeah, her
thank you,
beautiful self
Swan.
and her beautiful daughter come over and bringing her brother some food. I feel very privileged when that happens, so I appreciate you very
Yeah,
much.
man.
I don't know where Miss Erica Felt is today. I thought she was gonna be on this morning. Hope she's okay. We'll definitely check on her. Somebody check on her too.
Yeah,
And if when you holler at her, tell her I'm still coming after them greens. So it's going
man.
down. And look forward to we're still trying to plan a little kickback or something where we can live alive with one another as well in between the break as well. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, more news and things. We'll be in contact for sure. We just are gonna chill out on the show and start working on the new reiteration of the show and take some much needed rest and break. This is kind of the season to take a little bit of a
Yeah,
break. Take a little rest. So I'm kind of thinking like the kickbacks really work better in the summer. I was trying to do one each break, but it seems like everybody kind of goes out of town and everybody's celebrating something, and it's kind of more of a family situation on the winter break, or more of a
hmm,
situation where you got to take a break, or like me trying to get right near the beach. You know what I mean?
right near the
Yeah, a
beach.
little traveling and stuff like that. So maybe we'll
Yeah,
start
man.
having a bigger kind of blowout kickback in the summertime, and just let everybody be with their families here. So, Wanda Lewis said Miss Erica Phelps says she's not feeling well. Okay, definitely got to check on her
Okay.
for sure. Appreciate it. So, anyway, yeah,
Get well soon.
yeah, get well. Yeah, tell her get well soon, and I'll give her a call too, and make sure we check in on her as well. And anybody else that's in the chat, I haven't seen Vaughn Chapman in here today either. Got to find out what's going on there. I didn't hear from Mark Manor this morning, so few people that we got to make sure that we check out. That's the beautiful thing about the First Guy Omaha fam is that we all are real people and know each other and can call and check in on each other as well. So,
That part.
yeah,
That part.
yeah. When I don't see some names, I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Let's see what's up. So, appreciate it. And it feels good. And I will definitely miss it too. I'll definitely miss getting up talking to y'all in the morning and
Oh yeah.
everything as well. Yeah, it does something for us too, in a big way.
Yeah. So definitely looking forward to working on it. And we'll be back before you know it, man. Just 4 weeks. It'll go. You see how quickly these years gone by. So yeah, we'll be back. Yeah, we'll be back.
Yep, bigger and better. That's what's up. Appreciate you guys. Thank you,
Man.
thank you for making Boost to the Root season 6 a success, and for continuing to contribute to this show and be successful in this show.
Man.
I walked around last night in Benson and talked to a few folks that I had no idea who knew who we were, but ghost listeners all around all the time. Appreciate them just
Thank
as
you.
much as the Chad Chimers, really. So thank you, thank you. Appreciate you very much. Yeah, man. Let's go ahead and get out of here, man. Give a shout out to the Omaha tribe elders who are allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. I want to say thank you to them. I want to say thank you to our elders that allow us to speak before you. Appreciate that very much as well. And speak for you too. Speak for us. Speak for the culture.
Man.
Appreciate that. And of course, I really appreciate the Chad Chimers allowing us to speak with you as we do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and have these great deep conversations. Again, if you miss any parts of the show, please go back to YouTube, check it out, read the comments. Go back to Facebook and check it out too, and read the comments there as well, because there's comments on both sides. And yeah, very very informative comments, very great questions, very great detailed research on some things, facts being dropped in the chat. We got the
Man.
best chat of all, so that's what's up. Rome's review said 32 new subscribers this season. Thank you very much for
Okay.
that report.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, we're gonna be doing more on the YouTube side. I'm just gonna let you know. If you've been rolling with us, you know that Facebook failed us a couple times, and
Man.
we might start moving away from that, man. And consolidating where the chats are, so that the chats everybody can see each other's chat. That's kind of
Yeah.
some things we're working on too. So stay tuned for some changes as well. But we know that you guys are here and you guys are our co-hosts, and you guys will roll with those changes right with us. You're already proven that, said that to us a million times. I used to be nervous about that, but now I'm not. You guys will roll right with us with whatever it is that we are trying to do here. So I can't
The
tell you how much I
best.
appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Guys that change formats, man, they be losing all their listeners and stuff like that. Our listeners are gonna come right on with us. So
They gonna roll. They
yeah,
gonna roll. So yeah, I mean they've been rolling since Mind and Soul. So let's roll on. We appreciate you. We love you.
yep.
Yeah. In the meantime, between time. Peace.
Peace. Y'all have a good one.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red the black, and the green. At the crossroad with the key.
By any